But I mean, they're so much better for it. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're not here to talk about.
We're not talking about TV shows. Oh no! Oh no! That's not what we're
Teapot
talking
is
about.
quietly sitting in the background, like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
Yeah, I only play Guild Wars 2. What is this? What is everything else?
I don't even know what films are, man. Is that some kind of living story patch? Is that?
Yeah.
Do you get that? Is that a cutscene? Are you guys talking about cutscenes or something? Is that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Thanos comes in and just stomps Brahm's face.
Yes.
You know,
It's the new superhero movie, Chris
leaking
Cleary.
films. Yeah, Chris Cleary versus Owen Orselkov. Like that would be a true face-off. Speaking of stuff that is illegal and illicit, guys, hacking. Okay, hackers.
Don't want to be a hacker right now, boys.
It feels bad if you're a hacker right now because they cleansed the hackers out of the game. Okay, and people are very upset. People are quite upset.
Not all of them.
ArenaNet got
Every single one.
exposed.
There are no
ArenaNet
more
got
hackers.
exposed on the subreddit, guys. r/Guild Wars 2 exposed ArenaNet because it turns out that they used a simple way of detecting the hackers. They just checked if you were running a hack at the same time as Guild Wars 2. It makes perfect sense. I mean, why didn't they come up with that sooner? You know, it's not exactly the most surprising type of hack detection, right? I mean, that is what it is, and then people are upset about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I read through the post, and if you get past the fact that the people who are outraged about it, a lot of the people who are outraged about it probably were hackers, but there are some concerns about it that were raised that are true. You know, like it being sent directly back to the servers instead of being deleted before being sent back to the servers. The information that could be bad if somebody is snooping on your connection between the ArenaNet servers and your house. Then they could see the processes you're running. But I guess if somebody's really that into looking at what your processes are, they could find out what it is in different ways. I'm not a hacker, and I am not I'm not a tech genius, so what I'm saying could make absolutely no sense, and I don't know.
That's what a hacker would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one issue with it, one fair criticism is what OneUp is saying here. So some people use some of these programs, right, in particular Cheat Engine, to kind of mess around with single player games, right? And you just kind of you can give yourself infinite whatever in various other games, right? Yeah. But even if you weren't using it to manipulate Guild Wars 2, you still got banned. But I'm sorry, like I don't know. I mean,
here's the problem. Here's the problem with that.
How many people did that happen to? You know, like
there's a legitimate problem where that could probably have happened to some people. Now, the real problem here is that the method that was used, there's no real way, unless you do like a correlation of time that Guild Wars 2 is open. And if it's like 100% correlation that this hack is on when someone's playing Guild Wars 2, then probably they're using it for Guild Wars 2 and didn't just forget to turn it off when they're playing Guild Wars 2. But it leaves a lot of, it's open to interpretation. It's open to, it's ambiguous, basically. And people could now, who are hackers, could now come to them and say, hey, look, this was just open at the same time. There's nothing you could do. And that's why I think originally they had said, we are not going to be reinstating these accounts. It's like off the table to discuss it with customer support. Originally, I think in the original post it said something like that.
Yeah.
But now they're kind of dialing that back a bit and saying some support tickets might be open. So, and I think that's why, because... And unfortunately, that's also unfortunate because there's probably going to be a lot of people who hacked who are going to say, look, I didn't hack. This was just open at the same time. And yeah, I don't know.
So you're thinking the cheaters are cheating? The system? What?
No.
What?
Yeah.
So meta.
What is concerning is that it's not 100% accurate, right? It didn't get some of the biggest hackers. I mean, for example... to even mention the name, right? But Owen Orselkov is like probably one of the most well-known hackers, right? You guys know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't actually know the name.
He has made contact in the past.
He is a guy who posts videos of himself hacking on.
I think
on
I've
YouTube.
seen them, but I just
Yeah, for
don't
example,
remember the name.
I bet you thought you were quick at doing super adventure box, Deroir, but he actually he can beat.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
He
Like
can,
in seconds,
he
goes
can
to the end.
just teleport to the end boss and then kill it instantly and do he can do all of World 2 in 6 minutes, man.
Wait, was this the guy who made that post?
No,
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 okay.
this guy is a
The
hacker.
guy
This guy.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
who made the post, he doesn't hack Guild Wars 2. What are you talking about? He only hacks all other games. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Memeing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That isn't banned. There are various other, well-known hackers that haven't got
The
banned.
problem-
For example,
the problem
Flaming
is that-
Phoenix hacked on my stream isn't banned. Like these are.
The problem is that although, like, it's a meme to say that, although it's unlikely, it's plausible. And, the problem is that they could raise this point, and it's not 100% guaranteed that ArenaNet was right about it and they weren't. So that is a problem with this situation.
The fact that this happened, right? The fact that this was the method they used has left them. They've left themselves open a little bit to kind of It's plausible, as you say. It's plausible. They're not 100% sure, are they? They're banning people and they aren't 100% sure they did it. They're pretty sure. Let's be honest.
They're pretty sure. Some of them, they're probably 100% sure.
Yeah, some of them. But the cheat engine one is a bit ambiguous. Honestly, does that even work? I mean, surely cheat engine doesn't do anything to Guild Wars 2, right?
Apparently, well, there's client-side stuff. Apparently, cheat engine only does stuff on client-side. So
it's just a simple editor. It's the BGM had that, man. But it can't really do anything. But I guess maybe it can do some things, I suppose. But I don't know.
Interestingly enough, though, if we could get past this situation without ArenaNet getting too much flack over it, and the fact that some people were saying, oh, they're backpedaling, they had to release the statement saying blah blah blah, these are the things, and some people are saying, oh, it's stupid to announce these things that you looked at, but in another way, this is a big kind of like it's telling all people who want to hack that they have this ability to look at you. And it's going to catch you probably no matter what, because if you're running these programs, they'll know about it. So they'll be able to hack anybody. Not hack anybody. They'll be able to ban anybody who's hacking now.
Yeah, and I mean that it's kind of overdue that they started doing something, right? Because hacking has been an issue, especially in like World versus World and PvP. Like, I have barely played one season, and I already got in contact with it, and it's been a pretty well-known meme that people speed hack in PvP. So yeah, the way I think about it is like, yeah, there are going to be some loopholes, but is it better to not ban at all? I'm just happy they finally did something. I feel like it was well overdue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know?
I can't really. I personally, I can't really get on the bandwagon of completely hating on the system that actually got the hackers down, because it's brought a lot of good with it, and I don't actually think that they should stop doing it. Maybe they should refine the system or the software in general, the spyware in general.
Are
But,
are they required to tell us that they have that kind of spyware going on at the time, though?
No.
Well, this isn't new anyway. I mean, look at this stuff. Look at the other games, right? Like, Blizzard love this, man. Like they run this shit all the time. They came up with it. Like they made this thing. They made Warden, right? And
it's smart.
And stuff like I believe someone told me on my stream that all the modern all the battle royale games run stuff like this, right? They run something like that as well. Like PUBG and Fortnite, they all have this similar kind of system, right? Overwatch, obviously, that's a Blizzard game, so of course they did. Like Steam is doing this stuff. Like I don't know, it kind of seems, and people told me that it's even more aggressive in these other games. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit unusual that people are upset over this. It seems not a big deal. And I guess they're right. At the end of the day, they probably made you sign on the dotted line anyway when you started playing the game. Like, you play Guild Wars 2, you agree? We're gonna look at you. We're gonna look at everything. We own you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's not even that. Don't cheat, guys. Don't cheat in Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, like the thing I'm most afraid
clear.
of. Most afraid of thing I'd be is like that. They cheaters are trying to create this tension to make ArenaNet stop it, right? That would be like the worst case scenario, right? If you create so much pressure on ArenaNet that they kind of have to to stop the whole thing.
That would probably be the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
If all of this actually gets if all of the outrage actually spreads to the genuine community who does not cheat, who doesn't really get hit by this in any way, shape, or form, but still get outraged just because of the mass hysteria, I guess. That's when we're entering a problem zone. And I really don't see a problem with it at all, and I don't think most people should. It's not inherently bad in any way, shape, or form. It's bad if you're.
Well, what if they see that I had? What if they see that I had a meta battle tab open while making a boost bad build? Won't they be like, "Oh, this guy"?
You would be debunked, mate.
Oh.
That's right, though. Meta battle is about right.
But
for those videos.
As far as I understand it, I think one of the core issues with. The core things that people have an issue with is that they think that they're going to get identified personally, and that's one of the only things that is not allowed to be stored by ArenaNet. Or am I wrong here? Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. They probably don't even have that in the.
No, I don't think you can be personally identified by a list of processes you're running.
I think it's very easy to create that general mood, right? People are very secretive about their stuff. Like, online privacy and internet privacy is a very hot button issue, right? Especially right now, as actually Benji pointed that out correctly, right? Especially right now with all the Facebook stuff going on. Yeah. People are once again more aware of internet privacy issues than ever. And right now it's very easy.
You raise a good question though there, Deroir. Like, first of all, has any of us read the EULA? And seen if any of this was mentioned at all? I haven't. I could, I guess, but I'm too lazy. But the other question is, are they allowed to keep that information on their servers now, all the stuff they gathered in that month-long period, and are they keeping it on their servers currently?
Yeah, I think we're assuming a lot of things here, and we're assuming that they're actually storing it.
We don't know.
We don't know if they just have a weekly or monthly or daily clear of that server. We don't know, and I think that's just like, yeah.
I mean, that's probably
in the day and age where everyone's getting in the day and age where everyone's kind of getting frustrated with Facebook over what we knew was already happening. I think this is just people just want to get outraged about it. Even though there's we don't really know the details of it.
Yeah, this is kind of like the Mount loot box thing, the Mount RNG thing. It's like there's so much worse stuff going on out there, and then ArenaNet does something similar to it, but probably not nearly as bad, and everybody on Reddit gets outraged and it's the same thing as with the loot boxes. Everybody got outraged about the loot boxes because it's similar to, but not nearly as bad as, say, like the Battlefront 2 loot box stuff that was going on.
So ArenaNet just has terrible timing.
What?
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Very bad timing.
Yeah.
It certainly is that. It certainly is. The timing is not ideal. Of course, but I think it's a good thing, and I'm proud of ArenaNet. I think the way they did it maybe wasn't the best way. Maybe they could have, but honestly, that's not what this is about. It's about the spirit of the thing, and they should ban the hackers. Get the fuck out of here. Get those hackers out of here, man.
Let's go.
I don't care about the timing. I'm just happy that I don't have to worry about speak hackers anymore.
Nice. We've got our boy. He's hooking us up in chat. ArenaNet has the right but no obligation to monitor operation of any service, content, or game at any time and in any matter, including but not limited to monitoring communications and communications interfaces, storage devices, random access memory, or CPU processes related to the hardware you use with the game. No one's gonna like the stand-up, boys. They got us good, man.
You signed your life away, guys.
You signed it. I mean, you guys clicked accept. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I don't think that's a particularly a terrible thing to have in the user agreement, right? I mean, but you can, and of course, as Benji said, ArenaNet can just ban you. They can arbitrarily ban anyone they like, right? They can sort of, get out of our game, you're done. It's either this, guys, either you have systems like this or you have hackers. And what would you rather have? I mean, you don't want the hackers. Like, the hackers ruin everything. They're not fun. They're just really shitty. If you got guys teleporting around in PvP, you're not gonna have a good time. Okay, that's not going to be fun. Mm-hmm. And that's and I don't think ArenaNet is doing anything naughty here. I mean, they probably just. I mean, the way it probably works, right, is that they get this stuff. It goes. They process it, right. They figure out if you're being a naughty boy or not, and if you're a naughty boy, then they flag your account, and then they probably don't store. I doubt they would even store it. Like, why would they even do that? I don't think they would even store the information. It'd just be kind of a waste of space, really. And then
But that's another thing, though. Okay. So I was just sorry, I trailed off in my head as you were talking, but I was just thinking. So 1,593 was the number, something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's not that many hackers in the game. I know they didn't get everybody, but they probably got a decent amount of people.
Yeah. At least they got those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
because I don't.
It's a good start.
I don't
It's a good
think
start.
that
They shouldn't
hackers
stop
are,
there. Like,
I don't think hackers are that much of a problem, though.
it seems like it's
go
not.
Ahead, Deroir. Go ahead, Deroir.
No, sorry. Never mind. Go ahead.
I guess next step to fix PvP is to get rid of all the win traders.
Hey.
Yeah, but dude, and they're starting that too, right? I'm actually pretty happy that they're showing so much consequence because PvP was heavily suffering from these factors, right? And I mean, yeah, 1,500 people banned, but that's more than half of the PvP scene out there right now. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
so, like, think in percent, that's pretty much probably. PvP has just been suffering from a lot of these problems: win trading, the tournament trading, the hacking.
How many people do you think would be left in PvP if all the win traders were gone, all the boosters were gone, and all the hackers are gone?
Dead.
One.
Not
You.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not that bad,
That's
but it's bad enough. It's bad enough that like I played like 120 matches. Like, I think I played exactly 120 matches, and I was confronted with it regularly. Like people would always like. I even had a game where you could clearly see like the guy didn't even care. Like he was just like zapping around in front of me, and like for somebody like me who doesn't play it every day, other PvP players have like if you look at synchronous clips, right? Like people didn't even care. People were cocky as fuck about it. Like they just they'd come to you, they'd be like posing in front of you, like, look at this, I can do this, and I'm not gonna get punished.
Yeah, there was that feeling though. There has been that feeling with everything, with hacking in, well, exploiting titles, win trading. They were very blatant, and they didn't think they were going to get banned because ArenaNet up until this point hasn't done anything. Right? They did nothing about this stuff. They haven't did anything about the hacking.
I honestly wonder how many of the people who got banned were legit just playing around with cheats because they knew they wouldn't get banned or anything, because that was the mood that was out there.
Isn't that how most of it starts? Like, there's always that one guy who wants to break it, obviously, and then he creates the hack. But then there's like 1,400 other people who are like, I guess, I mean, I can try this, and then after 5 minutes, they're like, oh, I can up the ante a little bit, and then you're hooked, and you're never leaving it
hacking,
again.
right?
I hope all these people got punished, right? I'm not sad for these people. Like, it's stupid. Stop it. Don't do it.
When did the PvP season start? The most recent one?
A few weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, right?
2 weeks, I think. Sounds about right.
Okay, because the period of time that they looked at hacking was, what was it, March 3rd to 27th or something like that? Was that before PvP season started?
Yeah, that's in the off season, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's a good question. There might have been a large percentage of the possible hackers probably weren't even playing the game at that time, so they probably didn't get everybody.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm saying they just got to keep on doing it.
Yeah, they got to keep doing it.
Like, I don't mind. That's the thing. Like, I really don't mind having it there, just running.
Yeah, what's a little curious to me is that they removed them, right? They removed the thingy. They removed the monitor.
The spyware.
The spyware, dude. Yeah,
Is it possible that they removed it to make it more difficult for the people who got banned to know that they got banned because of this particular software?
Maybe they removed it just to kind of be a bit of a stealth operation, right? A bit of a,
Yeah. Not let people know they had this technology.
ArenaNet bans for auto hotkey? No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they
but
don't.
they deny it. No, they don't.
I've used auto hotkey actually. What did I use auto hotkey for?
There were rumors about like a Razer software or something, like a mouse software, right?
That's kind of the thing. Like everyone hit. They're trying to blame it on anything else than the thing that they know that they're doing wrong. So it's like, I have a Razer mouse. I have a mouse. I have
Synapse, dude. Synapse, man.
Logitech system. Everything's like, auto hotkey. You don't blame all of these legitimate programs.
I just have really bad lag.
Yeah, like I'm jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
They don't. They made a list.
Yeah, I also, I'm gonna confess this. I mean, I don't think I doubt they're gonna ban me, but yeah, like before they added consumer, I use an auto clicker. Like I admit it, dude. Right?
You've done it on stream.
I've done it on stream, yeah.
Several times.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly have to report that.
Don't report me. Don't report me. But yeah, it's true. Like people are all in that thread. There were all the excuses, man. It's always the same, right? It's like, oh no, I didn't hack, man. I'm not a hacker. I'm not. Unban me, bro. Unban me. Cool story, bro. Hey, it's just. And Drake, even like Frostwolf Draco is in chat right now. He's like saying, dude, I didn't hack Guild Wars 2. Well, in fairness, you might have got banned coincidentally, actually, because they said they also banned some other accounts that weren't related to hacks. They were just incidental. So maybe you did something else instead, right? So, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. That was the curious part about it, though, actually. They said they 6-month suspended, what was it, 63 accounts or something like that were related in some way to the accounts that they had banned, and they said that they're going to reverse those suspensions, but I don't know if they meant immediately or what.
Well,
does anybody know what that's all about?
No idea.
Okay,
it's probably a bunch of people. Like this is just speculation, pure speculation. It's probably a bunch of people who have been in way too close contact with their friends who have been hacking. And they've just got flagged out of that. Like, I don't know.
Ooh, am I too loud? I could reduce the sound.
Wait, are you? I don't think you're that loud.
Oh, you good? Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe it's that because I know I've heard with a hacker and then somebody on their team going, he's not hacking, he's my friend, I could tell you he's not hacking, or like you're just a white knight or whatever. And that has happened a lot, actually, like friends, even if they're not hacking, backing up people who are definitely hacking. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah,
probably some halfway innocent like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, or account sharing, or just being on the same IP address, essentially, near it.
Just don't be naughty, guys. Do not be naughty.
Now, what I would like from ArenaNet, to be honest, would be like a proper whitelist of programs, because a lot of people, I think, are getting confused now with what's allowed and what isn't. Yeah. And I think a lot of people have been confused for a long time. Like I heard this, I heard people talk about this a while. Like, I'm not going to run ARC despite having some statements by ArenaNet, because it's still too shady for me. Just having like this clear-cut line, like we know this software is out there. Like, for example, YOLO Mouse. I've never heard like anybody from ArenaNet talk about whether that's okay, but I use it frequently, and a lot of people.
I don't know if they can do that, right? Like they could try to whitelist, or they could probably whitelist instances of a certain program. They can't whitelist a program in general because it keeps on changing, right? And they have no control over third-party developers.
The moment they make a whitelist, they're dooming themselves for the monitoring. And they can't. True. And no offense to ArenaNet, but they do have issues even monitoring their own internal systems sometimes. Like and that's just how it is. Like there's a lot of orphan content, and for us to demand that they assign devs to monitor other programs related to it would just be like it's not going to happen. Like
Yeah, that is true. It's unfortunate.
I think the way you have to go about it is if they haven't said specifically, you probably shouldn't be using it, right? And you know, ArenaNet will eventually kind of comment on it. I mean, honestly, Taco is dodgy, right? Like dodgy is. It is so borderline. I honestly don't understand how Taco is legal. I'm sorry for Taco lovers out there. That is shady, guys. Okay, like it can tell you when to go to Doom Greens. It can tell you when to throw Sabbatha bombs. It tells you all the phase timings. Okay.
Always kind of something I didn't understand. Like that was never an issue.
Yeah, I mean, that is when we're talking about unfair advantage, it's a pretty big unfair advantage.
It gives you actual advantage, exactly.
Yeah,
like, other people.
That's something that's extremely normal in like WoW, for example. Like they had those raid programs that were just it says start moving or stop, and it was very very similar, I guess, in that way. And those were definitely whitelisted. I guess they're just saying if it's allowed in WoW, why can't we have it here?
Well, yeah, but you're allowed you are always
allowed DPS meters here too,
WoW, right?
You
I mean,
have
I
them here
don't
now,
mind
too.
it, right? I don't mind it, like, before chat thinks the wrong thing, right? I don't mind at all if people use it. I wouldn't use it myself, but it does give you definitely an unfair advantage over other players.
Yeah.
Like, in raids, at least.
It does.
Not necessarily in competitive game modes, but
It's-
actually, like, has
But it's
overlays
not
that shows...
raids isn't a competitive game mode, though.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, that's why I don't really care, right?
Unless
It does
you
give
do
it
the raid
advantage.
tournament. Oh, that's a good question. Did any
Ooh.
guild in the raid tournament
Use
use
Taco.
Taco?
I doubt it. I very much doubt that.
That guild would have lost
We don't
without
know.
even playing.
No.
Even
Yeah.
if they had won the tournament, they would have lost the community at that point.
Yeah, so I mean, in my opinion, Taco is maybe a little. It's a little bit. But I think the way they've defined the rule is that you're allowed to kind of play with anything that is available to you, right? Any information that would normally be available to you, you're allowed to play with, right? That's kind of the stance they have. So, for example, DPS meter is okay because it's all in the combat log, right? You could, in theory, access all of this information. And in the same way, Taco is like that, right? Because the timer is there, like it's up, in the boss. You can see the boss timer. So all that information is there, right? And the markers and stuff like that. Well, you have eyes, so you can see them. So it doesn't add any information, right?
The entire
it
road
used to be
through
different, though.
tribulation mode.
Like,
Your
it's
eyes.
It used to be that as long as, like, if you have to inject, it's not fair. That's what it used to be before the DPS meters got, like... That's why DPS meters were illegal for so long, right? And that's why we had programs like Jackson X who would screenshot your chat logs and see the numbers, because that wouldn't inject, and that was legal. That used to be the rule. That, like, as long as you don't inject, it's fine. But
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like Taco, if you're like a true raider, are you going to use it that often? Like if you're really, really high end raids all the time with a group, you're probably not going to use it.
It does help you, but it's a bit of a faux pas in the raid scene, I think.
Right,
like, it's a little bit of that thing that, like, if you have to use it, that means you're not as good, right?
But that's the issue, though. Like, so remember we had that conversation about what we could do to make raids more accessible to people who don't raid. Taco's a good tool for that. Maybe ArenaNet is allowing it to be because it's something that'll help people try to get into raids properly if they go out and find it. It'll be.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Like, personally, I think, like, if you, after like a year of raiding, we're still using it, I think you were, like, kind of neglecting some of the fun, like, because it is a hill. It's like the extra wheels on a bike,
Yeah,
like,
you're never taking
point.
off the support wheels.
Exactly.
You're always just holding hands. Yeah.
Mm.
The thing is, like, the way that I see it, especially in raid usage, is like you're countering your own learning process. Like you're basically refusing to learn it the way it's supposed to be learned. Remembering the timers, remembering where to go, remembering what to actually do, and instead just playing the UI. And so you never really learn the encounters.
Mm.
And I've heard this a few times in pugs, like, my taco is not working. I can't play that part. I can't do Sabbatha bombers. Then you can't do the boss. Like you don't know the boss. You don't know the game.
That means you can't do it. That means you can't.
Yeah, you never learned it.
Yeah,
I've legit heard people go on training groups like, I can't make the calls for Sabbatha bombs today because I'm not running Kako or something.
Yeah,
like people who used to command their group. So it's
just not good. It's just bad.
But like I understand that, like, it's very nice to have it for like open world stuff as well. Like I see the coin routes for not Istan, the Amnoon and stuff like that. Where I don't mind it at all. It's still helpful, right? But it's just a nice little thing to have.
Yeah. So last week, was it last week? Is it already only 1 week since the raid tournament?
Yeah,
that is correct.
It was a big event, but it was only a week ago.
5,000 viewers, Teapot.
That is correct, Boots.
Congratulations.
You've saved Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is not a dead game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually crazy.
5,000 people watch it.
It's actually crazy how that translates into the following week as well, because I've had like significantly more viewers on my stream lately, and a lot of new people. And it's actually crazy how many people I got that like lately ask about what class do you think are good, like the beginner questions. Like I feel like there's a lot of players actually who've like come back or come to the game in the first place.
Reinterested.
It's
That's good.
Yeah.
like job on that
Yeah.
event. That was awesome. That's
Yeah.
absolutely awesome.
There we go. We got it done. See, people.
So when's the next one?
People made fun of me. When they
Tomorrow.
said that Guild Wars 2 can be saved. That 2018 will be the year of Guild Wars 2. But oh no. We have saved Guild Wars 2, guys. The raid scene. The toxic players, my friends, okay? The elitists have banded together and we hooked, we hooked Guild Wars 2 up, and
demographics?
I think it went really well.
What do you think the demographics of that 5,000 people were? Was it all the toxic elitists, or was it 10% toxic elitists, the rest people from Reddit, or was it people that don't go to Reddit, or maybe people who don't even play Guild Wars 2? What do you think it was?
I think it's probably mostly just ordinary players.
Yeah.
I don't think there are 5,000 elitists in Guild Wars 2 actually, and I'm not just
probably
saying that
not.
as a joke. I'm just saying that I actually don't think there are 5,000 elitists in the game. So
Yeah, they're not. Otherwise,
Maybe
guilds
not
wouldn't be
rating
struggling.
leaders. There's all types of elitists, though.
Yeah.
But there's a huge demographic in the game who never watched Twitch. I think who came there for the event. I could totally picture that. I mean, look at Guild Wars 2 Twitch usually has like between 400 and 1,000 tops, maybe viewers, and I'm pretty sure the game has more players than that, right? So.
The last time I saw a number larger than 5,000 was before Heart of Thorns, during those official Guild Wars 2 streams telling about the professions. That was the last time.
I think the announcement stream for POF had like 30,000,
Yeah,
35,000.
yeah, like 20.
Oh, yeah,
30
that's true.
viewers.
That's a good point.
They had a
a
huge amount of viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I mean, that's an expansion announcement. That's what we're comparing the tournament here.
But I mean, raid tournament, expansion announcement, they're like...
Potato.
Yeah, same amount of hype, I would say. I mean, I think so. That's about the same hype, I don't know. Well, anyway, next time we'll double it again. Next time we're going again, 10K.
Easy.
10K, then 20K after that.
Easy. It's happening.
Yeah, easy. Next one happening next year, probably. Then we'll go.
2019 is going to be fucking nuts.
2019, 10K. 2020, 20K. 2021, 40K. Then 80K. Then 160K. Then a million. We're just going straight to
I can't wait.
after that.
That's how that works.
Straight to the
We're
million.
going straight to the million after that one.
And then Guild Wars 3.
Then Guild Wars.
Hey.
To race.
No, there will never be. It's all Guild Wars 2 from here on out. You don't have to buy anything else.
Mobile game.
Yeah.
GW3 mobile game.
Anything a mobile game? Yeah,
Happening.
I did. I mean, I honestly, yeah. Well, I guess we could talk a little bit about that. A bit of a segue here. But the other thing that was happening was PAX, right? It was PAX East, right? It was PAX East.
Yeah.
Okay, and everyone was expecting. Well, I was expecting an announcement. I thought they were going to do because they had the big Griffin, they had the big boy Griffin. They were taking photos and stuff. They were tweeting out this picture of this cool Griffin they had, and fizzle.
They didn't even have a demo, as far as I heard, of the game. Like,
Oh, they never. Yeah.
Did they end up announcing a
Guild
game?
Wars. No, Guild Wars. They
Oh.
only had the Griffin. There was.
I don't know.
I was
no,
actually
like,
gonna wonder, was there anything?
There was
behind
no-
Were you
it?
really expecting an announcement of something though? Because
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting
I mean,
an announcement
just
of something. Of what?
Well, no, I honestly.
I mean, we've been
you
talking
can
about
call
the mobile
You
game
can
for
call me
ages.
naive.
Yeah.
You can call me naive, but I was expecting that mobile game, man. Because the thing is, I really thought they were going to drop something because this is so out of character for ArenaNet. They're going to an event, in 2K18. They don't do that anymore. They don't.
Oh no, they
had
went to the
Game
West.
Consoles.
They live there, but they went to PAX. The PAX Prime.
Yeah, but they just went there just for wasn't it just like a meet and greet kind of thing?
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what they did here.
No, that's not the same, man. This was they had a giant Griffin model, and they had some kind of, and they were like shilling it and saying that they were there, right?
Yeah.
So I was expecting the mobile game or something or anything.
Maybe it was because they had the panel, right? They had the panel that 3 of the developers were part of.
Yeah.
So
But
it might
that's
just be
quite
like,
a-
hey, we're going there.
But they talked, and the
I mean,
panel.
it might-
do something there.
A panel is
It
all
might
well
just
and
be
good,
the-
but they just talked about what they already did. They just said, yes, we did the story, and that's cool, right? Don't get me wrong. I mean, the story is good. The story is fun in this game, but
Right. But what I'm saying isn't that that's what ArenaNet was trying to bring to PAX. I'm saying that they were probably doing this panel, invited to this panel, and they said, hey, should we have some kind of other presence there? Yeah, I guess so. Since you're going anyways, let's have a party.
Yeah, but they brought a
Massive
It's
griffin.
super
The Griffin is weird. The Griffin is weird.
The Griffin is a super expensive project. Like we're talking 100K plus probably, easily, and you're just gonna bring that along. I mean, I maybe it's just the all the marketing money that was otherwise gonna go to the PvP tournaments that just like got flushed down the drain into a Griffin. But I don't know. Like
it's not like they don't throw out this Griffin now. They have this Griffin forever. They could do other stuff with the Griffin. But yeah, it is a little weird that they have a Griffin and not a demo.
Oh, yeah, I've got to defend the Griffin here. The Griffin is pretty cool.
The Griffin is pretty
awesome.
Wait,
no shade.
I don't think
against
the Griffin cost 100K. I mean, how did they
easily?
Wait, 100K?
No.
It cost 250
How
gold.
did the
Chat
Griffin
knows
cost
that.
100K?
250 gold.
Do you know how much it costs to have
Have it
something
done the
built like
collection,
that?
Wait, does it? There's no way.
It was 200 gold, and they had to do
It's like a 3x3 meter. I don't know how big it is. It's a giant statue. It's not.
I think. Okay, obviously the Griffin is a talking point. That's
Price
something.
of statue.
That's like
It's
advertising
cool.
right
The Griffin's
there.
cool, man.
It's a talking point, but I think probably having the Griffin there and then a demo of the game would be good because people come see, hey, a Griffin.
Yeah,
amazing.
Why not the
is there a game that goes along with this Griffin?
Why not accounts that are positioned at the Griffin races, right? So you can fly the Griffins.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Or the mount races, or have them because mounts are obviously a big selling point of Path of the Fire. So shill those goddamn mounts,
Griffin races are exactly the kind of thing that require like almost no time to get into, and they're like this short-term fun point. Like I'm definitely sure a lot of people would have enjoyed that.
They're really fun. I wonder. It feels like maybe it was like a little incomplete the PAX East thing, but I wasn't there, so I don't know the full detail. But
maybe they just got something else planned for it. Maybe they just want to use it later on.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, maybe they were kind of doing a test run. I mean, I can understand that because they're also going to E3. We know they're going to E3, so
and the Griffin again.
Maybe they can use that Griffin again, which is cool,
sure.
right? And they're just kind of greasing the wheels, in their PR machine. You know what I'm saying?
I wish they'd ship it to Gamescom, but I have a feeling like
probably not. Maybe a little difficult.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Although, I mean, it can't be that much more difficult than shipping it from Seattle, right? Like. A plane is a plane is a plane.
I found the cost of what it costs to 3D print a life-size model of a person. It's between 20K and 75K. That's just a life-size. Yeah. That's the 3D printing.
Shit, Deroir's right.
Yeah, but
dude.
that's
so the Griffin.
But they
not
print
3D printing.
They got Josh Foreman to.
But he didn't make it though.
I know. But someone did, and it's probably just it's cast model probably. It's very different from 3D printing.
All right.
Yeah, I think 3D printing is a very expensive process for this.
You never know.
You don't know. We don't know what's going on here. We don't know how much. We don't know how much the Griffin cost. It was probably pretty expensive. The booth itself, I think someone told me it's about 10K just to get the space, right? Just to have the space. That's pretty crazy, right? Just on its own, right? That's pretty intense to get that.
I did
cash.
hear that the party was a lot of fun, though.
Oh yeah, I bet. I like how they do the PAX parties. I like from what I've heard, they do like a party that's open to everybody and has like a VIP area or something, but it's open to everybody, and that's kind of something I gotta say I miss at like Gamescom, which was like invitation only, right? They like had you apply, and then if you were lucky. You'd get an invitation. It's kind of something I was missing at Gamescom, so I'm a little bit jealous of PAX, to be honest.
Yeah. It's really cool, that they just let anybody get the tickets they want to go. Like, obviously they have a max amount of people they could let into the space, so they had to do it in ticket form, but they're free tickets and anybody can buy them. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, and I am very excited to see what they do decide to announce going forwards, of course, and they can in the same way that they reuse old content, they can reuse the old Griffin, if you guys know what I'm saying. Okay, they can do a Chaos Fractal kind of meme. Guys, no need to flame too hard on.
Maybe they could adjust it in some way.
I don't know anything about this.
If you're going with the Chaos meme, maybe they'll just bring like the wings
Griffin.
or something.
The Griffin costs 50 million, guys.
The next form of it will, when they reuse the content, they're going to talk to SpaceX, get it to be an animatronic Griffin that actually flies, and then
send it out to space.
Send it out to space, yeah. Celestial Griffin.
Boots,
It
your
could be
prediction.
painted, give it the celestial skin or something.
Well, they can give it all the skins. That means they can sell. That means they can sell the coins as well, right? The gems. Sorry, they can sell gems, coins. What? They can sell their mount skins at the same time, guys. Okay. All right. You want to fly a Griffin? Well, this Griffin's got a skin. Okay, how do you get that skin? 2,000 gems. Okay, special discount 1,900. Okay, special discount just for E3. 1 million gems.
Do you know what I like? What I would love to see? Like, you see this so much for other games like League of Legends or something. When you go to an event, you get like a special in-game item or something. That
would be pretty cool.
Like, I mean, just like the Guild Wars 2 shirt or something. Oh boy, I'd go to Gamescom for that. I'd go to Gamescom just to get that shirt.
Just to get that would be kind of cool. I mean, that sort of thing would be really awesome. Actually, you could get some kind of code, like a llama or something. They could even give away a few little llamas, like with a funny hat or something. Guys, I've just thought of something, okay? And just hear me out. Just tell me if I'm off base here, okay? What if the demo they do for E3, Doom CM?
What, the devs playing it?
No. You play 10 randoms. 10 randoms who've never played Guild Wars 2 before. Doom CM.
They will never pick up the game.
Doom CM.
They will never come back. It's like 20 seconds of gameplay, and they're like, "What is happening?" Yeah, no.
Hire
like
me.
a good idea
ArenaNet,
what
hire
you're
me.
saying.
Okay. Hire me now.
I think we got it the first time around. The Griffin races. I think that's the way to do it. Griffin races. The pinnacle of fun in Guild Wars 2.
We're going to say a no to Doom CM then.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Griffin races would have been perfect. As you said, like, you need nothing to start Griffin races. You need to know, like, this is dive, this is pull up, and this is, like, speed up or something. Would have been perfect.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. Guys. On top of the Griffin mount, there's a computer screen with a Griffin race ready to go. You are on the mount.
Whoa, so you roleplay. Yeah, you roleplay.
Like, it's like these race games and like arcades or something where you actually sit in the seat.
Exactly. So either you print either you 3D print 12 more Griffins and have 12 computers set up for
3D print those Griffins, man.
Or just have one, and then you have a lineup around the entire E3 space.
The big reveal is gonna be Guild Wars 2 in VR on Griffins.
This is what we do, guys. Imagine this, guys. Okay, we do an elitist raiding party at E3. Okay, and we ship the teams out there, and they play live, guys.
Live event. Oh boy.
Live ERP.
It's against TOS, I think.
Imagine that.
That would be good. That would be good.
I'd crowdfund that. Yeah, let's go. Live ERP.
Yeah, live ERP. That would be good. Yeah, live
win trading as well.
Yeah.
Live win trading. Yeah, live win trading. Exactly. Yeah, we can do all of that live. Yeah, no, but I mean, on a serious note, I think it would be kind of cool if they had some kind of demo, especially with related to the mounts, because Path of Fire, the big thing was mounts, right? I mean, I don't think that's unreasonable. I think a lot of the component of Path of Fire that drew people to the expansion was the way the mounts handle, the way the mounts play, and we can kind of see that in what they're selling in the gem store, right? You can make all the memes you like about how Guild Wars 2 sells stuff, but what are they selling? They're selling mount skins. That's how they're currently paying the bills. Right,
and this is what they need. They always
shill those mounts hard, and let people use the skins. Let people use the skins. So yeah, go ahead, Boots.
Now that I think more about it, with the PAX East, yes, I think they could have probably had some demo booths. That probably would have been better. But
I mean, at least one.
But I wasn't. I don't think I was disappointed that there was no announcement. I didn't expect an announcement, and I think going there, even if it was just to have a Griffin there and a party, going there is important to have some kind of presence at these kinds of events. Because they're an MMO, and they need people to continuously know about their MMO and to remember that it still exists and to join in whenever they remember it. And it's important, and I think they did the right thing.
I'm completely agreeing with you here. We have to give them credit where credit is due. It as with other things that has been way overdue, being present at these conferences or whatever conventions, definitely a step in the right direction for ArenaNet, in my opinion. Like it definitely had to happen.
Absolutely.
And except for missing the demo, you can't get more present than a 12-foot Griffin.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a World of Warcraft booth?
Oh yeah. The one that they have, I've seen it a few times at Gamescom. It is awesome. What Blizzard? I mean, obviously, Blizzard have got a little bit more cash to throw around, but damn, they have huge statues of various characters. Like they have so many PCs set up, right, for all their games. Some ridiculous amount of hype stuff. It's really, really good. But the
Griffin is fine too.
The Griffin is great. The Griffin's great. ArenaNet, yes, good job.
Next time bring a life-size 3D printed Joker as well.
Yeah, a life-size 3D printed Deroir from the Mists.
Okay. Well,
yes.
I will come and snatch that up and steal it and take it with me.
There you go.
You know ball pits? You know those ball pits that you jump in and there's the fun balls? They should do that. Bring a ball pit, but instead of balls, it's plush choyas. And it's a bunch of plushy choyas with actual needles.
No.
Wait, what?
No.
I mean, maybe
that
not
might sound real quick.
But plush choya.
Yes. All right. Not bad.
Not sure if that's the best idea, but
Hey.
Thank you for trying. Thank you. Okay, for your contribution, Boots. Okay.
Choya pit.
Thank you.
Choya pit.
You've done well. Yeah. Instead of balls, it's Doom CM. Everything is Doom CM, guys. Not everything is actually Doom CM. We can't just turn everything into Doom CM. All right. You try and get on a Griffin, but instead of the Griffin, it's actually Doom CM in real life. You get kidnapped. By end of
instead of Doom CM, what about Doom Throne?
Yeah.
What? Let's promote raids by having a giant Doom Throne. Now that would be pretty good, dude.
Right beside the Griffin.
Yeah.
Only that's the VIP area. You gotta have like a marked area that only let in the elitists. You gotta show your kill proof to get in.
You gotta link kill proof and they let you go on the throne.
Yes.
No, think about
it. There, you have to do a
400 LA plus.
You have to scavenge around. You have to scavenge around the booth to find insights on the ground, and you have to show the insights. If you have a legendary insight, you're allowed to sit on the booth. You just have to sit on the bench. That'd be good. End on the bench. The winners of the ERP. All of MNF is just piled up on the bench, like all sitting on top of each other. That'd be good. That'd be terrific. Okay. That should be pretty good. But yeah. Anyway, to kind of wrap that up, yes, ArenaNet. I approve. I was expecting hype, but I will take the Griffin. I will take the story panel, and I will enjoy it. Okay. And I'm looking forward to see what they will do, and hopefully E3, we're gonna see some interesting stuff. Guys, do you guys have any predictions for E3? Well, do you guys have any predictions for will they actually announce something? Will there be an announcement? Yes or no?
No, I don't believe it any longer. I think they'll probably aim for having more presence, but I don't think that they'll actually announce anything for the next year till the next expansion. I don't believe.
What about World versus World redo?
Yeah, but do you actually think that they're gonna?
It'll come before the next expansion, I think.
Oh yeah, it'll come out. But do you think that they're gonna go to conventions and and hype it
to announce it?
Because they're obviously gonna announce it to the community and like on their website. But are they gonna do it at E3? I don't think so.
No, probably not.
I don't think so. It's not gonna be another Tequatl revamp live stream where we see the devs kill off the giant world boss. I don't think so. As cool as it might be, and amazing. Wow, what's happening? Oh, okay.
Roca's
Oh
dying.
my god.
No.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they're gonna really do anything.
What are the things
maybe
they've
they're
actually
just
gone
hyping
and
up.
announced before? They've only announced the expansions so far at events, right? Like, is there anything else they announced at events?
The Tequatl world boss rework.
They
like,
announced that at an event.
Ages ago. Yeah, it was at like some convention somewhere. I don't even remember what it was. Chat probably remembers, but I remember this whole live panel of devs sitting and they were showing it off and talking about it. It was like one of their first really big, like, living story updates that they were really hyped about.
Oh, okay, because it was so early.
Yeah,
Tequatl Sea.
I
Yeah.
wasn't playing at the time.
it's cool stuff. I was super hyped back then. Yeah.
They should do challenge. Think how good it would be to do challenge modes for world bosses.
Oh boy.
That would be insane.
Oh, open world is the last bastion of the
You gotta-
player. You can't make that into elitist content. That would destroy the game.
Well, it wouldn't be elitist because it would be
How
optional.
dare you?
It would be
How dare
optional,
you
Roca.
suggest? No,
Yeah,
And
you'd
it's
have
not
to-
elitist because
just bring your elitist attitude to my own world.
Triple Trouble Worm, you could just be there and do it
Yeah.
Yeah, Triple
and get the
Trouble.
credit for it.
Imagine how much fun it would be to have a whole map on Triple Trouble to decide whether to go see a Monarch or something, you know?
That would be great. Think how good it would be
Nice.
to do Triple
It
Trouble.
opens a map-wide vote.
Imagine having 50 people on each worm, but it's 10 squads of just perfect PvE comp, right? Oh,
Do you
think how
think they
good
would
that would be.
ever,
Every worm was Doomseer.
for all the
Whoa.
core maps,
Yeah.
for all the core maps,
The dream.
would they ever release or do a hard mode instance for each one?
For wait,
A
what?
hard mode
Sorry.
instance.
For all the core maps. So, like, instead of Queensdale being level 1 to 10, it would be level 80 or 82 or whatever.
I
Wait,
think you mean like hard
Like
mode
in
in Guild Wars 1,
1.
like with vanquishing. I mean, such a system would be really difficult to implement. And what would be the goal, Boots? What would be the point?
Allowing people to go back to those maps and have something fun to do in them, but not have all the content being ridiculously easy when you're at level 80.
but
you
would the... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Your point was probably more interesting.
What? What would you like? How would you incentivize players to actually do that? Like that kind of content? Because like the rewards, you'd
The
either
rewards
have to
would be
completely
this-
change everything and like.
I don't know, like they did it in Guild Wars 1 and the reason people did it was because you could farm those monsters that were higher level and you get better stuff, basically.
Yeah, but we already have alternatives for that in pretty much every enemy
Yeah.
now.
There are a lot of level 80 maps, it's true.
Yeah, like the last of the missing ones was branded level 80s, and that came with the expansion. So
Yeah. But I guess wouldn't it be fun to go to, say, Queensdale and oh my god, what about the world bosses in those maps? So like fight the fire elemental as if it was like, no, that would be too much work anyway.
I think like on the topic of like changing world bosses and scaling up to challenge modes and stuff, I'd much rather see them go the route of the guild mission system, like where you can spawn through your guild you can spawn the bosses, but then do it challenge mode. Like you basically craft an upgraded version to spawn it, and then
Brave Scream has a good point.
Yeah.
It splits up the player base to even more if you have like another instance for each map would be too much. Yeah, agreed.
Ipos wants a battle royale.
But
man.
nobody's playing those maps anyways right now though. All
Well,
the core maps, there's no one there.
Yeah,
No-
there's
no
no real
level
reason
80s
to
really.
be. Well, yeah, I guess as the new guys will go through them. But I don't know. Do you think you need people always playing in every map?
Not
The
necessarily.
maps,
No.
the maps serve a purpose, and the purpose of the maps is exactly that, right? They're there to be that journey through the world that the new player has, and that you have a constant trickle of new players coming through, and they will They will traverse the new maps, and hey, I mean, veteran players map complete, right? To make a legendary, so you have to do the map completions if they don't want to grind the gold out, and so I think the maps have their purposes, and I don't think there's anything wrong with them not being used in every way.
Yeah,
I was muted this entire time, was I?
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, we haven't heard you for a while.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I still think that like new players come to these maps, and if they see them being completely empty, that's kind of like sells a bad picture. And it takes a while to get to level 80 for the first time. If you're a completely new player, you're going to play the game for 1 or 2 weeks at least, and if you don't see any other players, you're going to get the feeling that Guild Wars 2 actually is dead, because you never actually get to Istan, you never actually get to do Palawadan. So I do think there is some value in having these maps be somewhat at least fun to play, because honestly, all my personal real-life friends that I've tried to get into Guild Wars 2, they stopped from the core Guild Wars 2 maps. Like, they were running through Harathi hinterlands and were like, "What? This is fucking boring. I am going home. Like, I'm going back to League of Legends or something."
I have an idea that could get best of both worlds.
Okay.
It's still never going to happen because there's no reason for them to implement this. But instead of making instance hard modes for each map, undertune a player's downgrading. Like you know how you get sent down to level whatever when you're on a lower level map? Undertune it even more so that it's like you're 5 or 10 levels below the map that you're at each time. So like it'll be hard mode content because you're gonna die really quickly, but you're still there with all the other players.
Do you know what I've been thinking about? Like, and this is going a different direction. It's like I've been thinking about things they could do for new expansions lately, right? And one thing they could theoretically do is revamp the old maps, right, and make them like do kind of a cataclysm thing,
Cataclysm, yeah.
Just somehow revamping these maps basically instead of really adding a new map, redoing some of the old ones, or like changing them up in an interesting way, and maybe adding some like events or something, whatever. Like, I don't know, Primordus could come out of the earth and like everything could be fire.
But then that actually,
Something
if you
like
do that, that actually is WoW Cataclysm, though.
Yeah, it would actually be one. I mean, but I've just been thinking, like, what is going to be the next big feature for him? And maybe that could be like the more interesting question here. Like, what could be the next? Are they actually already working on the new expansion?
I've been thinking about
For
that
sure,
for
yeah.
ages.
Yeah,
Like, I can't.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't
Like when Heart of Thorns came out, like I definitely heard like day one they already have a team, but like for POF,
No. Heart of Thorns, they did not say they already had a team. 6 months after Heart of Thorns came out, they said, okay, this is what's happening now. We have a team now working on an expansion.
Okay.
And we have a team for live stuff. And this is how it's going to be from now on. So they definitely have a team for the next expansion. It's probably the same team that they had for the last expansion. It's continuing as the expansion team. And then there's a live team working on the live updates.
But there's also, so there is already, last thing I heard is like I don't know. I've never heard anything, to be honest.
Because they don't have to. They announced it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do think, so they do have a team right now that is working on that?
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? What is the next going to be? I think every expect needs to have a feature, right? I don't think they're ever going to do one that's just like a ton of new raids and
just
something.
content.
True.
I don't think they're ever going to do that because people.
You're thinking of gliders and mounts, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be
exactly.
It's gonna be
It was-
some kind
first it was
of.
It's gonna
gliders,
get
it
it's
was
getting
mounts,
harder
what's
and harder though.
What's
Yeah.
going to be the next big feature?
We're approaching the point of the game where the only other feature that they can bring out and the community will accept it is something like housing and weird stuff like that. Or they're gonna have to just expand on the ones that they got. But like innovating on the scene, they have to do something.
The other problem is that for the next expansion, they had since the way they've designed everything so far, and it turns out we were right about it, is that the expansions are being designed to be able to be played individually and bought individually and played individually. You don't need both expansions to play each expansion. But because of mounts in Path of Fire, veteran players who have all the expansions, the maps in the new expansion have to be designed in such a way that they're not completely trivialized with mounts. And if that's the case, then they have to have some mechanic in the expansion that allows maps to be traversed in a similar way to mounts.
I think if I'm completely honest, to like my expectations at least, I wouldn't be surprised to just see more mounts, especially with the next expansion. Maybe like 2 expansions down the line, we're going to see something completely innovative. But I genuinely am expecting just more mounts for the next one.
I think underwater mount is not so crazy.
Oh yeah, it's not far off.
They could revamp a lot in underwater. That could definitely be like a big feature. It could be.
But it's a feature that could easily backfire ridiculously.
Very easily. Very easily.
Yeah.
But it is something that they could like market well. Like underwater, guys. Look at this. Completely new maps. Actual fun underwater stuff, you know? Yeah. Like underwater elite specs and shit. I see Teapot's look, and I agree. Like I know I would probably react the same way, but it is something that would get attention of old players. It is something that would get attention of new players to the game because it's more than just like, oh, there's a new raid or something. There's like something genuinely crazy going on in that expansion.
I've always said that the underwater combat system in Guild Wars 2 is far superior to any other or most other underwater combat systems that I've ever experienced. The main problem is that you don't get a lot of exposure to it as a player going through the game, and so working your character in a 3D environment, it fucks you up, like, so to speak. Like, you don't really get that natural feel.
Also, they kind of stop thinking about it. Like,
and so
unplayable. Like a lot of skills just quite frankly aren't usable underwater.
That's my problem with underwater, is that it's underdeveloped in the way that, like, the entire build system has like 1-2 throwaways to underwater content, and everything else is overland content. So and you only have like a small selection of underwater weapons for every class too. So it's
Deroir is right though in that point that it is kind of fun, you know. There is a whole region there that has been started to be developed, right? And it's definitely, like, most other games will just like kill you off if you fall into water, like you can barely swim or something. And there actually is a big system here, but
it's true.
It doesn't see use. It's true. I think if they were going to go in the underwater system, I think they would actually go in the approach that Cataclysm went in WoW. Actually, has anyone who's played? Did you play Cataclysm? Anyone play Cataclysm here? No. So there's a zone called Vashir, right, and it's an underwater zone in the World of Warcraft. Okay.
Wait, you're a World of Warcraft traitor, Teapot?
Yeah, I played WoW. WoW was a great game, man. WoW was a great game. I had a lot of fun.
Don't talk to me.
It's an underwater zone.
We're not friends anymore.
And
let's go to Lion's Arch.
Basically, while you're there, you know, swimming in WoW is actually way worse. Like, underwater is horrible. It's so fucking slow. In fact, they dodge underwater so hard. They have mounts that can walk on water and stuff. Like, that's how much they dodge it. Okay,
like a skimmer.
But yeah, much like that. Yeah, exactly. It's actually like a giant insect that can just walk across the water. And there's water walking and stuff in the game. But anyway, okay, things happen, and you learn. Basically, you get this kind of buff. Like, you perform this weird ritual or something involving like seashells and stuff, and then you're able to kind of walk along the. You can walk along the surface, the bottom of the. You can walk on the seabed, right? And you can run really fast. You can swim really fast, and you get a seahorse mount as well. In World of Warcraft that swims really fast. And so they didn't actually do proper underwater. It was kind of just like, it was like flying combat almost. Like you could swim really, really fast. So something like that could potentially work. But the thing is, I mean, you already have that. You kind of already have that because you already swim really fast. It's just the fact that the combat is just not. It's just not good. It just doesn't really work. And the way the underwater skills are is just. It's just not good. You know. So it would
honestly,
be difficult to make it. They'd have to completely rebalance it, completely rework.
Yeah, they'd have to rebalance. They'd have to add additional skills. I think, honestly, though, an underwater mount could help a lot, because part of the reason why underwater is not that much fun is because it feels kind of slow to go underwater everywhere. But if you had an underwater mount that made you go 3 times faster, and then only when you're in combat do you not use it, that could be kind of fun, actually.
I think one of my biggest wishes actually for underwater is that ArenaNet would just take the chance and push the player base into, say, a full zone underwater. I would love to see the what would come of that. Like I know the reaction from the community, especially the initial reaction, would probably most likely be negative. But I would love to see what would actually come out of that gameplay wise. How the players could push their classes and how the how the balance in turn would develop from there. Because I feel like it's just underdeveloped and we're underexposed. And it's that bad combo that gives the underwater combat in this game the bad rep that it has. Because I don't actually think that it's bad inherently. They have a good system going. They just need to work on it more and
it has so
push
much
us to
right?
it. Yeah,
it
it
has
does.
so much potential, but like it's just like there has to be a lot of work done. And even if
Oh
they
yeah,
do a lot
I'm
of work,
not
even if they
saying
do
that
a lot
it's
of work,
easy.
it would be a gamble. Like you could this could, as Boot said, that could totally backfire. But I see the same potential as you. I'm just scared. I'm just just very scared.
Well, so we're talking about underwater content because we think Cantha, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes. What other
yeah.
mastery could they have, right? With with Cantha.
Just turtle masteries. Lots of turtles.
Oh,
Sea turtles, land turtles,
Fishing.
sky turtles.
fishing.
Doesn't Kent have like special dragons?
I mean, fishing is definitely going to be a fucking thing in the near future. They're testing the system right now.
Are they really? What makes you say that?
That is the entire.
Have you seen the new event?
Yeah,
they're testing how to do it and what they want to do with it. I'm 100% certain.
To be quite honest, I would say the same thing about houses. It looks like they're testing stuff for housing, like the sitting down stuff, adding chairs that you can summon that are not really tonics and not really anything else. Like it does seem like they're checking boundaries. Like
I feel like, but housing to me is like this horrible abomination compared to what the guild halls could be. Right?
Well, yeah.
They could make it. They could make the guild hall system so much more incorporated into the general gameplay and much more interesting to the general player base, so that housing wouldn't necessarily need to be a thing.
But think about what housing could offer, right? You could add, like, first of all, like from an ArenaNet standpoint, you could add a lot of skins for housing, right? You could add like a whole new section of Gem Store, which like mounts, like gliders, right? You could put a lot of stuff on Gem Store.
You could.
So that is a selling point for housing.
But like, okay,
there are a lot of
hear me out,
like,
right?
Okay.
What if you could buy those same things for the guild hall? What if say you could buy
gems, right?
Guild hall's too big.
But how can you do that? How can you do that?
Or
How do you get gems on that though? How do you make that worthwhile for Arena?
The same way that they did the decorations for Heart of Thorns, right? You make people pay for them through the gem store, and then it's basically just a crowdsource thing that you throw all of that into. Like you buy it individually, one player buys it, and you throw that token into the guild hall. That token can then be placed. So say you need 5 or 10 of those those plant lots that we've been sold recently, and you need 5 or 10 of those. Put them all into the guild storage, and then you can make one in the guild hall. You can do the same with all of the nodes. Say you need the 5 or 10 of those infinite or not infinite, those orichalcum nodes or other nodes, mining nodes. Throw that into the guild hall, and you can get that same node in the guild hall. You have to crowdsource it. You have to get everyone involved in it. The moment that you make it an individual progression and you put it into a housing system where people just lock themselves off with every convenience thing in there. That's the moment
I'm
when
not necessarily sure they have to go that.
You end up like garrisons, man, and garrisons is just no.
I think you could take a different approach. Like you don't necessarily have to have that. Like I think like if you could take like a BDO approach where you actually have places in the open world that you can buy, like that you can buy an instance of. Like you could have a house in Lion's Arch. We've actually like kind of talked through this. Like you could just take a house that's in Lion's Arch, and they have recently remodeled the cities, if I'm not mistaken. Well, like they have like because of the events and stuff, they made them like interchangeable a bit more. Like
I think we talked about this before for Cantha, because Cantha, as well in Guild Wars 1 had a giant city, Canaan. And 250 years later, there's no way that city hasn't grown and taken over half of the island. And there are a lot of apartments, houses, etc., that are available, I'm guessing. And it would be a good time to implement housing, that you could buy certain plots of land there.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like only one person could buy one house. It's like certain instances of houses, right?
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
multiple people could have the same house, and
yeah.
you just enter your instance.
There's still like an yeah, exactly. There's still
because
like
like
an
a chat
in-game
that came up
location.
that there wouldn't be enough space in the game or something, but like you could just instance it.
In my opinion, there's evidence that they might go in this direction as well. Like, if we look at you know that farming patch you could buy, right? On the gem store? I think stuff like that. Okay, so what they don't want to create, right, is they don't want to create player housing where you just AFK, because it's already kind of AFK Wars 2 to a certain extent. Like, you AFK in Lion's Arch, you AFK in Divinity's Reach, or you AFK in your VIP area, or what stuff like that. But what they really don't want is you in a personal instance AFK.
Yeah, because
like that's dear, that ain't good.
Yeah, because not only does that separate the player base like crazy, but also it's a tax on their systems.
Yeah, because they have to maintain all these weird instances, I guess. And
exactly.
So I think what the direction they'll probably go in is going to be, as we say, well, as we've been talking about, it could actually be a good way to kind of have masteries involved in it to a certain extent, because they want it to be horizontal and different. And something that's different is something that they saw in the gem store, which is the farming patch, right? And people loved it, right? People were really into it. And it had a little cool quest attached to it as well, right, to get the seeds. So that sort of thing, right, could be some content, right? So if you want to get this thing for your house, right, and it does something specific, it's some kind of gimmick that it has, like it's the farming thing, or maybe there's fishing in your house, right? Or you have a pond and there's fish, you got to catch the fish, right? If he goes like that, then right, then that could maybe be something part of the gem store. It's also kind of a mastery thing, so you need a mastery to learn how to fish or something. I don't know. Yeah, who knows?
But it can never be as good as they can't make it as good as like all the cities or all the instances that are service cities nowadays, because people would AFK in them, and that's not something they want to do. Yep. But back on the fishing topic, I think maybe you have something there. If you're going to Cantha fishing, you could up cooking up to 500 at that point and have a bunch of fish related dishes.
I think we'll definitely see that. For the next expansion, we're definitely going to see crafting expanded on a little bit. Chef, is it chef and jewel crafting are missing, right?
Yeah. Like 100 levels. And another thing that might speak against the housing thing is that we do kind of also have home instances, right?
Yeah.
Which are kind of like housing, or which are like somewhat of ArenaNet's approach to housing already. Yeah, I think that's fair. You even have that. You even have the waypoint thingy, right? You can even port to it with the gemstore item. Yeah, you have nodes in there. You have a lot of customization with all the cats and stuff like that. It's already kind of a bunch of stuff in there.
To be completely honest, I actually think that ArenaNet is quite satisfied with how the home instance is right now. It's basically just a cash grab that people throw money and gold at.
I personally think
don't AFK in, and they go there once a day.
Hey, but again.
To gather, right.
But those gemstore purchases, they'll pay for themselves in 10 years. So
in 10 years, yeah, right around the same time that the red SAB collection finishes. What up?
Yeah, yeah. So you this is kind of a bit of a sidetrack, but you tweeted about this, Deroir, and about how long this collection will take. And you were kind of saying that this was good evidence that there may end up being
World 3.
World 3, right? So do you think there will eventually be when is World 3 coming? So it's kind of a little bit of a sidetrack, but we can continue with some speculation going into this. This is a fun thing to speculate about.
I think if it doesn't come next year, it's never going to come. I think there's, as far as I see it, there's one of two possible situations that's happened. Either the creators of it kind of lost their mojo for it and their will to push for more SAB content, like the right to make it.
I thought they were just too busy.
Yeah, or that's the other thing. Or they're just too busy. Maybe they're just not allowed in general. It's one or the other. But now that it is automated, now that the system is in place for all the festivals, if it doesn't come next year, it will never come. And instead, next year they're gonna, because I saw that afterwards, after I tweeted this as well. One of the devs that actually made the automated system for the tournaments, not the tournaments, the festivals. He said that they would be looking into the issue with the Crimson Assassin weapons taking that long, which to me just points in the direction of there's not going to be a World 3. It's a much more likely scenario that
they'll
they're
just
going to
delete the houses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're basically just gonna add
just
another way to obtain the red ones, because as it stands right now, unless you if you do all of your dailies, you get 1 token a day, and for every 8 dailies, you get a choice of taking 8 more tokens, right? Or an orange weapon. If you choose to get the orange weapons because they're expensive and you want to finish both collections, it'll take you 10 years to complete the red one. If you choose the 8 assassin tokens, it'll take you 5 years in total to complete that collection. It's insane, and it needs some other system. But I think, unfortunately, that they want to work out another solution that is not World 3, and that kind of saddens me a little bit.
Yeah, me too. Like, especially it was. I guess, I mean, at least the infinite contingent coin turned out to be worth it in the end, but the it is a shame that they have like all of this. They have the picture at the load screens that shows you that there's an end to this. You have all the.
It's basically just a big ass tease.
It's tease. It's a huge tease. Yeah. Oh well.
It is. Hey, Enkos makes a good point. It's like Half-Life 3, man. They never actually release it.
Yeah.
They'll go straight to 4. But yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, I genuinely wouldn't mind. I genuinely wouldn't mind that they kept World 3 being just this gag instance where they have the Jinn in there and then they move directly to World 4. But
that's it though, isn't it? Maybe because there's so many little references in SAB. There's so many like little nods to different things in gaming. Maybe the fact that World 3 is never happening is a nod to Half-Life 3.
I mean,
that would be cruel, man.
That would be so cruel.
No.
I wouldn't mind just anything added to it. At least if they add World 4, we'll know that it was the arc was finished off or whatever. But now it's just been a tease.
It might happen
years.
Eventually. There's an entire year for it to happen, you know. But I think they might be a little bit busy. Might be a little bit busy with some other stuff.
They're making another expansion.
Yes, they will. Yeah, well.
I think they've just got other priorities.
We don't have official confirmation. Do we have official confirmation of that? Another expansion coming?
I think we do. I think at some point they said they're working on another expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard somewhere something about. I think
it was like in a Reddit AMA.
The early meetings. Yeah, the early meetings already taking place. It was like right after the expansion was launched.
But guys, I gotta get going. So you guys continue talking your hearts out.
Yes.
Oh no. Yeah.
Boots must leave us.
Put a little more emotion to that, please. It was a little laissez-faire. There we go.
Boots, don't leave us. No.
All right.
Yes.
Was that my cue to just end the?
What?
Yeah, you should have
just leave.
All right. See you guys later.
See you later, man.
It was fun.
Oh, he's gone. Now my overlay's ruined.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Gotta save the overlay.
I gotta resize you guys now. Well, it's gotta be done. It's gotta be done.
While you're doing that, let's mention one of the best things that has been added to the game ever, or in a long while.
Okay.
With this latest patch.
Yep.
More enrichments, guys.
Yes. Oh, guys.
We got more enrichments.
How have we ignored this? How could we have possibly not? How have I not done about this? Guys, guys, they actually.
We got two.
Guys, the devs, they watch TeaTime. They watch my stream. I complained about this. I don't even know how long I've complained about this for, guys, but it's an insanely long amount of time. I've been complaining about the lack of enrichments, the lack of abusing that enrichment slot for I don't know, for like a year or something, dude. Okay, it's been so long.
And they did it.
And they did it. They did it. Okay, yeah, I saw that, Benji. I saw that shit. They did it. I was asleep and I woke up and I saw those patch notes, and boom, they added the enrichments, and specifically to World versus World. But you know what, Deroir? They're not even good enough, I don't think. I think they should buff them.
Oh yeah. They should be better. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, and I'm not gonna be the first one to complain. I think especially the reward track enrichment is way wank, and the World XP one should be at least doubled. But it's a step in the right direction, and I wholeheartedly agree with adding more.
Yes.
So.
Look, you're welcome.
Look, guys, we've got Ada Ben P says you're welcome. See, boom.
Yeah.
Well, you're responsible for that, Ben. That's awesome. It's a really lovely change, I think. But we hope to see more of it. I think definitely, of course, a PvP one is the natural one. But to be quite honest, I think we can fit them in every aspect of the game. Actually, I think I don't want to get too greedy and presumptuous, but think how cool it would be if you could go on kind of quests, right, to upgrade them, right? So you can buy the base one, right? Okay, you get the base one, the basic 5%.
Make it into
10%.
collection.
Yeah, a collection. Yeah, and you have to do stuff. You can get a legendary enrichment style thing, right? Okay, and you do it. So, for example, if you wanted to upgrade your World versus World one, you'd have to, you'd have to capture Stone Mist a bunch of times. You have to kill a bunch of players. You'd have to cap some stuff, like do some supply, I don't know, build an arrow card or something. For the PvP one, you've got to kill a bunch of people, you got to cap some points, you got to kill the beast, you got to ring the bell, I don't know, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, I think it would be really awesome if you could kind of upgrade them. Ben made them, based on requests from the World vs. World Quality of Life thread.
It's amazing.
Just, yeah, cool, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's been something I've always wanted. I think it's... a system that
I've been advocating this for a long time.
Yeah, the enrichment system has not seen enough love, man. It hasn't seen enough love. Yeah, open world ones could be cool as well. But yeah, it's really awesome to see some of those in the game.
I definitely wouldn't mind being able to upgrade it, at least just for say you could upgrade it through the collection system that you were talking about, where it basically just doubles the effect of it or whatever. I don't even mind so much that it has. I know a lot of players will disagree here, but I don't even mind if it has an aura or not. Like basically, just give me those extra stats would be superb.
I want a fractal enrichment that will delete fractal instabilities. I just don't get hit by flux bombs anymore. Social arc doesn't face me anymore.
Well, I mean, you could do a fractal one pretty easily. It could give you more relics, right? Or just like that. Wait, isn't there a mastery that rigs your RNG? Right? They could make one that rigs your RNG in fractals.
Exactly. Oh, do you mean the fractal one, right? The fractal mastery?
Yeah, it gives you better luck, right? It gives you better drops.
It gives
so you get better drops. You could get it so you could make it so you get like a token. No, actually, no, we're not doing that. Actually, no, we're not. That would be stupid. Oh yeah,
it wouldn't be completely bad to add. It's why Chak exact doesn't work. No,
there's a bit in PvP.
That's in PvP.
Yeah, in PvP it wouldn't work. Ben was just saying that there's a few restrictions with the way PvP is coded that it actually disables the infusions. So I assume that's why none were added actually, because there needs to be.
I can hold off on getting the PvP ones. I don't play that game mode right now anyway, so it's fine. But the World versus World ones,
yeah.
Good shit right there.
Yeah, I think it'll be awesome especially if you could upgrade them, because I think 5% is nice, but I think it's a little. Is it a little low?
I think in general, they should at least be baseline to the guild hall.
A 10% at least then.
Boosters, yeah. So 10% at least, and I think that kind of goes for all of them. Like all of the enrichments. If it's not there or above, it's very lackluster. It feels very lackluster. Most of the ones that we have adhere to this rule of thumb, so to speak. But except for the one with the reward track, and that feels it could at least be doubled, just as a baseline. I would definitely advocate that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think these could be a little strong. I mean, of course, 10% world experience is really nice. I value world experience very highly, but I think it could be 20%, right? I mean, 5% world, 5% reward track is a little low, but I mean, I don't know. It's easy loot, right? I mean, I guess it's easy loot. So, but I really like it. I really like that change. I think it's really awesome. I think it's a system that's really good. I think it's very appealing to a lot of people. I think people really like incremental buffs like that. I think that's something that you can really hook people on and get them actually playing and grinding out the game modes, in my opinion. So I think that's a really, really awesome thing that actually got added in the in this patch. I was really excited to see that, and obviously I've decked out all my boys, all my World versus World lads. I've got that World experience infusion. I won that 10k rank. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I went in.
And
it was the first thing I did. Yeah, exactly. I went in right as the patch hit, and I went to World vs. World. It was the first thing I needed. It was the enrichment. It was fucking spicy.
Can I be completely honest with you guys?
Yeah.
You didn't know?
I didn't know about them until now.
Wait,
until just now.
Roca,
Just
what the fuck
about
are you
that.
doing? Get the fuck
And I still don't care. I still don't mind.
Wait, you don't care?
I actually don't care. Like, yeah, no.
What if?
I never cared about
like
I never
the
cared
whole
about reward tricks. I never
Wow.
actually played for them. Like I have like shit tons of boosters laying in my bank, and I never use them. Even if I do join you guys for World as well, I never use them.
Do you not want?
I'm sorry. I
Do you
feel
not
bad
want
about
10k rank in World versus World?
No, I legit. I don't. It's never really faced me to be.
Just wait for the big World vs. World revamp. You're gonna get hooked on it. Don't worry.
I don't know. Maybe it's like because I don't really play for the reward. Like I'd rather have a good fight or something. Like if I was to play World vs. World, I wouldn't really care about the reward. I'd do it for the gameplay.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But it is nice to get those easy rewards.
And I still rate up to this day.
Yeah, I just like value, dude. And those infusions are value. I am about value.
I think they're
okay.
Cool. They just don't really faze me, like personally. They're like cool.
Well,
Cool
suppose that you got more loot for playing shortbow Soul Beast.
Oh boy, there we go.
Okay.
We had to go there, right?
Yeah.
We just had to go.
I just have to bring it up. When you're around, I have to bring up shortbow Soul Beast. I don't have a choice.
I'd rather not get loot at that point. I'd rather not.
I just
get
don't
loot.
have a choice.
But you know what I would like?
Okay,
This is like
yeah.
something that I thought about after last tea time, right? Kind of a little bit late to bring it up, to be honest. But like, what actually I think phases me about raids and about the casual builds. You know, I don't actually mind that people play easy to play builds in raids, but I mind that they can get the same results with them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if I'm like a top-notch weaver. It doesn't matter if I'm like a 5 hours of gameplay double shortbow soul beast, right? I can still kill Gorzeval without ever having to take an updraft. I would actually like to see a hardcore mode for raid. Like, I'd like to see a mythic raid that does nothing else than double the HP for bosses. Nothing else. No special mechanics, no crazy development shit, just double the health so I actually have to deal DPS. Sounds dumb as hell, right? But it's all I want. All I want to do is have decent DPS at the same time as raids. You know, like.
No, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it would be awesome. I think it might be a little bit difficult for them to, but yeah, I definitely think that they should do stuff like that, especially with CMs. I mean, they have CMs.
That could be another expansion feature, to be honest. Mythic race or something, you know.
Mega hard mode. I don't think I don't think the target market though is really there. I think they are more. I don't think there's gonna. Yeah, I have to say I don't think they'd sell a lot of copies of the game off hardcore.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be. It couldn't be like the only thing, right? But it could be something like when Heart of Thorns came out. Let's say that the gliding was like the big thing, and then like you had maps, but you also had like elite specs. You had raids come into the game and stuff like that. And actually, another thing could be for like talking about the expansion revamps again, like a dungeon revamp. What about that?
I mean, I guess they could. I'll tell you what, they could actually sell an expansion on dungeons. I actually agree. I actually agree with you. They could
like dungeon
do that.
Revamp or as like the next thing.
I mean, they already have the
dungeon
game,
revamp.
so you couldn't really say like
revamp and new content. I think
dungeons,
they could bring back dungeons as an expansion.
Reintroducing them, right? Yeah.
I think
there's some stuff that you could change for dungeons. Like some new systems. Like you could change out some of the systems that get a lot of criticism from the dungeon community.
Because they could do Urgor's Warren, dude, from Guild Wars 1. Boom. They could do the Deep, because we're going to Cantha, right? So they can do it. They can do it, guys.
I just think there's lots more interest in making those a raid. or
No, I don't
fractal
think
for
so.
that matter.
I don't know. I think that's the
true,
approach they're
actually.
taking, right? They're putting their into fractals, but I still think that dungeons could have a lot of value.
I mean, I completely agree. I think I may be on the other end of the not on the other end of the spectrum, halfway. Anyways, I'm a little of another mind at least. I think what the dungeons, like the current dungeons that we have right now, could really benefit from would be just a daily rotation, so to speak, much like fractals, where it's like do this, this, and this.
I disagree. I would actually disagree. Like, I think the daily system is nice, but the daily system limits your playtime in a way. And we have a bunch of stuff where we do dailies. Like, I do fractal dailies, right? Or like I used to do them before they introduced the whole random stuff. But you do them like once a day, right? And you only do those 3 fractals basically and the CMs. So you're limited.
But there's
dungeons on the other hand, you could repeat them over and over, right? You could actually do that if you have a whole day.
That's exactly it, though. That if you add it, sorry to interrupt you, but that's exactly it. You could always go ahead and do every single dungeon in the game, and you would get the same reward. But if you added a daily system on top of it, say you do 5 different what's it called, dungeons, paths, and and those are on a random scale, you'll get double the rewards from those 5. You could still go ahead and do all the other ones, and you'd get more rewards.
I still feel like people wouldn't do. Do you think people would actually still go for more than the 5? Do you think? I kind of feel like then it would be balanced so that after those 5, you might as well go with Silver Oasis. You know?
Probably, but it's the same. But like, I think the biggest issue with something like fractals, like comparing fractals to the dungeon system, is that you can't really continue after you've done your dailies in fractals. Because you're only getting 14 relics or something, which is like garbage compared to dungeons, where you're actually getting a whole lot of tokens just from doing any odd path.
I would like to see dungeons to be that farmable content that you can do over and over, that where you actually have to play the game decently, you know? Like, not just Silver Oasis where you literally just have to like press F and you get gold basically, right? And like you have to organize as a map and stuff, but like where you could actually take 5 people and be like, we're going to get good at this. And we're going to, like, if we want to, we can do this for 5 hours straight. And like we can just keep repeating dungeons. And then we do 1 hour of fractals, and in the evening we have our 10-man race or something. And be like that filler kind of.
So you have like 10 hours of content every day, man. You got infinite content now.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. It's infinite content, dude. It's like you can keep doing it. Like why do you have to limit it to like an hour of playing, right? I mean, I spend so much time AFK in Aerodrome that I could be running dungeons, but I never do. And people used to do that. Like, I mean, we had this talk when we had the Dungeon podcast, right? People used to play probably more when dungeons were around, just because dungeons took longer. They didn't have a straight end.
I think Nike's kind of debunked this. I think dungeons are still worth doing financially speaking.
Yeah.
I think that's not true at all. I think doing dungeons is still actually very lucrative. In fact, as I understand.
What was it? So there was a number of like how much gold you can make an hour if you like speed clear it or something, but I know that even the guilds that do those speed clears probably haven't done it more than like a couple of times to test.
I think the reason people don't play dungeons is more because of the fact that they haven't been updated. They're pretty buggy. They haven't been added.
Of the new systems.
There's
like
new added stuff, and also they're not. I think there's a lot of frustration that they aren't fun because of stuff like break bars, right? I think break bars break bars and stuff like Tempest Defense kind of ruined dungeons, right?
They added some systems that just didn't really work well with dungeons, like break bars, for example. That just kind of broke a lot of stuff. Yeah, but if they fix it, you know what? If they just fix that, maybe that's already good.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because the rewards are bad. I'm just saying that I wouldn't like the daily stuff because I like it to be that repeatable content. I like it to be the kind of content that doesn't have the limit of where you stop doing it, right? Because if they if they made a daily dungeons, in my opinion, everybody would stop after the dailies. And I think that's one of the big selling points to me for dungeons is that you can do a whole dungeon tour. You don't just do 3 fractals, you do all the fractals, you know? maybe that's just like a personal thing, but I kind of like that.
I mean,
All the
I'm not gonna
agencies
lie.
are
If
still there.
the fractals had better rewards, if the individual fractals had better rewards outside of the dailies, I would probably be doing more fractals a day.
Yeah, same.
But you do have
that
that system with dungeons. You don't have that with fractals. And so I think it's basically just a matter of putting systems on, or reward systems on systems. So you put a daily on top of the already established system for dungeons, and I think that would actually be really cool. It would start to get people interested, and I think that's what it needs right now. It's just people getting interested in actually playing them.
Yeah. And as chat is saying, Base is saying this, the reason people aren't interested is because they aren't fresh anymore. They haven't been updated. There's still some
burned out on it.
Yeah, people are burned out, and no one knows about them. Like, they're not. People don't play them. People don't play them anymore, right?
I think the demography of players in the game who actually don't play dungeons because they burned out is fairly low. I don't think there's.
Well, yeah, because they don't play the game anymore. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, not burned out on the game itself, but like burned out on the content.
No, I know what you mean, but I think like people haven't done dungeons in years at this point. I think there's like a whole new demography of players in the game who haven't burned out on dungeons, that just don't play them because they're not because people don't play them, because there are not a lot of LFGs or something, because of all these like reasons we've talked about before, right? All the problems that dungeons have.
Yeah. Besides, you can get the rewards from playing any other reward track in the game, so there's that.
Yeah,
you don't have
to
play the dungeon to get the rewards.
You can just play. Yeah, it's a bit sad that they didn't make it fully exclusive, right? Or at least something fully exclusive. It turns out you can actually get Dungeoneer without ever playing a dungeon, which that seems not quite right to me. That seems
that's actually not right. You still got to do the story mode.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, I tell a lie.
So that.
Okay,
yeah,
I tell a lie. Okay. So there you go. But you can almost do it. You can almost get Dungeoneer without when Dungeoneer just is unlocking skins, right? So why do you have to do the story mode? Or do I not understand?
You unlock the reward track.
Yeah. You get the reward track by doing the story mode. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So you have to do the story mode, but then you can get all that. You can't get dungeon. Yeah, that's true. You can't get Dungeon Master. If you want to get Dungeon Master, you actually have to do it. Yeah. So you can actually do it. Yeah, you can get the title from PvP tracks, because Dungeoneer is about unlocking all the skins from the dungeon.
Yeah.
And then, so there you go. There are random tracks open every week, so it's theoretically possible.
You can go around that system. What up?
So it's kind of possible to do it even without doing any dungeons. So, they could market that. They could market the new expansion based on dungeon. But then again, as one of us said that they're probably going to put the stuff from Cantha, the kind of the fan service stuff. They're going to make it into raids, right? Urgo's Warren, it's obviously going to be a raid.
Or like we've seen with the
Shiro,
or
he's
like
back.
We've seen with the Twilight Oasis, they're just going to make it a fractal.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally in favor of. Like I like fractals, so I don't mind that being diversified even more. But yeah.
So it does kind of seem that dungeons are kind of off the table forever. I think a big problem with that is. Well, I don't know how true this is, but you always hear the rumors about how that no one at ArenaNet actually knows how the dungeon code works anymore, because they don't work at ArenaNet anymore or something like that. So there might be some issues with that. No one actually knows how to fix them, and it would be a lot of effort to do.
It would be, yeah. We talked about this. I didn't actually mean to make this into another dungeon podcast, right? I mean, we've had one of those like a month ago or something. I just wanted to throw it out as a potential new feature for an expansion, right?
Yeah, and it's a cool feature. It's a cool possible feature. I would back that.
Yeah.
But I still think it's going to be just a mount.
It could be mounts, or it could be related to the player housing. I think player housing is actually a real possibility for a mastery. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what else they could do in terms of masteries and player housing.
Out of all the things, I think it's
one of the issues. One of the issues that I see especially arise is that I wouldn't be surprised if they feel like they got to one up themselves every time, and they've kind of thrown the big one in the pile.
Yeah, the mount. Yeah.
So like it's super hard to one up yourself from the best thing that you could possibly put out there. They can't just go ahead and make a fishing mastery where you unlock your own little boat and you can take your friends out in the sea and fish, and like they can't just happen like that. Even though it would be kind of, I don't know, kind of fun, I guess.
I kind of expect that if ArenaNet does something, they kind of do it in a big way, right? They didn't just do mounts; they actually like kind of re-envisioned mounts, right? They didn't just do gliding, but they added a whole mastery track of gliding around it. There are like updrafts and all that stuff you do with it that like it changed the usual way you would imagine that system would run, right? So I'd be curious to see what they would do about housing. I don't think it would just be like any other game where you'd like buy a house and decorate it or something.
But then again, we've seen the Guildhall system, which is housing, and they kind of dropped that on the floor.
The same stuff for like underwater, though. You know, like I feel like if they did it, they could actually do something crazy. And they wouldn't stop at just like doing what we expect them to do. I think they would like go big. They'd go big or go home, basically.
Go big or go home.
I mean, yeah, you'd think that, but I mean, look at Guildhalls, man. Like, they went. I guess they went home, right?
I think the biggest issue with they went home. That's exactly what happened with Guildhalls. They kind of just it was orphaned from birth. I genuinely feel like that was what happened. They never added any more systems to it. They never added any more tiers or like levels. Rarely did they ever add any decorations from like the story, from general gameplay. It was dead on arrival because they just orphaned it.
Maybe it was just too big to fit it in with all the other features. I mean, Heart of Thorns was a very big thing, right? And like if they try to add a whole housing system, but I mean, we're talking about housing like it's something you could base an entire expansion around, right? And it was Guildhalls was just one feature of like many on Heart of Thorns, so that might have been the reason like it didn't end up.
But like, exactly. If they made the whole housing system, imagine if the Guildhall system would have been the only feature with Heart of Thorns. They would have had to incorporate the Guildhall progression into the open world, and like they would have had to add more stuff for players to play around with in the rest of the expansion to kind of upgrade their haul, and they didn't. And if housing becomes the main selling point, that's exactly what they're going to end up doing. They have to do.
Just like I think every single point where we've been talking about has good arguments against it, right? Every single expansion selling point has very, very strong arguments against them.
They're just gonna come left field and be
that's why game. That's why Path of Fire is a big problem for ArenaNet in a certain way. I think it's very tricky to, as Deroir said, right, to kind of one up this. You know, mounts are really big, right? That's one hell of a thing. And I think if they don't come up with something to kind of follow that through, then it seems a bit lame, right? And that's not a criticism of ArenaNet, really. And I think they've put themselves in a difficult position by having gliding and mounts as their first two masteries. I mean, they're going to have to come up with something new, really. Because I kind of think even stuff like player housing it won't seem as cool, right? I don't think it will seem as cool as mounts and gliding, because those are things that really impact the gameplay a lot, right? You know, mounts you are very useful. And gliding even more so. I'd say mounts are less useful than gliding even. But as we said ages ago, right, they've limited their design options a little bit because of how mounts are, especially the bunny, right, and the griffin. The way new maps are going to be, it's just going to be mounts are just so overpowered in open world, right? They're ridiculously overpowered. Without just disabling them, it's actually I think they've set themselves such a task designing a new map, right, that won't be completely cheesable and will make it so that you'll want the mastery from those maps over the mounts. Because the mounts are, I think, when it comes to getting around outside, mounts are just the best. I mean, that's just...
Yeah. Speaking of, actually, because one of the big obstacles that they put on themselves, so to speak, was that mount exactly as you put it, mounts can do everything, and you want to be on those most of the time, regardless of whatever environment you are in. And so ever since Path of Fire came out, we haven't seen many jumping puzzles. We haven't seen much of those like intricate just player character movement areas, whatever, until the latest, the Sandswept Isles. They actually have 3 areas where they completely disable mounts inside them just to have that jumping puzzle feel. So it's not completely off the table that they could do areas like that, but yeah, it would feel a little bit weird.
Yeah. And
They should do more of that though.
And I'm not so sure that, I mean, is disabling a master really a good way to approach this? I guess it's the only way though, right? Otherwise it just gets fully cheesed, right? I mean,
I wouldn't see them do it everywhere. I wouldn't see like whole maps getting disabled, right? But I could definitely see them have certain areas disable mounts. I think that would actually make a lot of sense to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'd have to. I think they will have to, especially if they want to do more jumping puzzles, because jumping puzzles are really cool. But it turns out the bunny is really good.
Breaking it.
I suppose they could go for more of a puzzle approach that they used with the jackal, right? There's some jackal puzzles that you could do, but even those you could exploit
but
as well.
Speaking of like a griffin races or whatever, make a bunny race where you gotta climb a mountain a specific way, and the only mountain you can use is the bunny. That would be funny.
Bunny climbing. Just
throwing that out there, because anyways, we're just talking shit anyways. But yeah.
yeah. There's a whole bunch of things they could do. There are many things that could happen, and they're all.
I feel like JPs haven't been fully exploited yet for mounts. Like gliding added so much. Like there were some genuinely cool jumping puzzles that implemented gliding. I haven't seen a genuinely cool jumping puzzle that implemented mounts yet. Like there's kind of like that one on the first POF map that's kind of fun, but it was kind of quick as well. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I think it would have been really nice to see that. I think they went with races though. Like, races was supposed to be that kind of thing. But yeah, it would be awesome to see a bit of a puzzler experience, because I really enjoyed it. Some people really hated them. You know, the jumping puzzles and the new maps. You know, like the one at Draconis Mons. But I really like that. You
could do a lot more stuff too.
Yeah. You could do
I've seen
of stuff with mounts as well, yeah.
I've seen guild halls with crazy jumping puzzles for mounts. Like, actually, Ellen had one back then that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but it takes an entire map to kind of make that.
Yeah, it is some work. Yeah. I mean, but I'm pretty sure that like Chalice of Tears wasn't built in a day, so.
True.
I mean, jumping. Yeah. Of course, it would take some effort, right? But you could make them. I've seen jumping puzzles that like went out of the way. Like I saw, like one of the things they did is like they put like holes in walls that you had to like jump through with jackals and stuff. It's like not just like jumping to the next stepping stone or something, but actually like obstacles where you had to use certain pet abilities and stuff. You could definitely do some more of that. I think there's some more options.
Yeah.
And then put some enrichments at the end there.
Enrichments, there we go. Bringing it back to the enrichments. Yeah, that's good.
Except for the enrichment, it's Doom CM. Actually Doom CM.
Instead of the enrichment, it's actually Doom CM the entire time. I mean, that's something that you can definitely go for.
It's Doom CM.
Oh. Yeah, as chat is saying, I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about it, but yeah, just make you need mounts for these stuff, and then make it so that the new master that comes in the expansion can kind of negate the other one, or is better in certain situations. Although I think that's difficult.
Yeah,
I think that's very difficult. Because mounts are pretty
good. They have to. The only niche that they're really missing is the underwater thing. Like it really, as far as I see it. Unless they make a tunneling mount that can go to different places. I don't fucking know. I'm just making shit up as I go. I don't know. The thing about the mounts...
That's what we do on TeaTime, man. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And what would make them distinct is that they're really distinct individually. Like they have a very, very specific set of skills, each of them. And it's very hard to go out of this, what we already have. Teleport, run, jump, fly, and float, I guess. You gotta dive now, or I don't know.
Swimming.
I like the idea of group mounts, to be honest.
What, group mounts? It's a cool concept. I like it. I want to see it in action first, I guess.
Yeah.
before I'll really get on board with it, but.
It's another one of those that could just turn out to be horrible.
Yeah, exactly. It could just turn out to be a 10-man carry all throughout, like map completion, And to your right, you see the next Vista. If you get off here, you can grab the Vista, and then we'll get going.
I'm just thinking about all the selling,
minutes.
like
the selling, the selling.
Renet's gonna have a whole new.
Imagine the LFG, dude. Imagine the LFG. They're like, yeah, boys.
Selling full map completion.
Full map completion with commentary. With commentary, man. I think I'm running that would be. Yeah. And here we have the mastery
Tyrion
point.
tour.
This is how we're gonna get there. You know, this is how we're gonna get. Oh, you're going off to space, of course. Deroir's space theory.
Oh.
Yeah, we're just talking about new content that's coming out at this point, right? We're just talking about it's like another thing to maybe throw into the ring. When do you think the new raid will come out? When do you think a new raid will come out?
Soon.
Is it about
3
time?
weeks.
Like
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Wouldn't there be a tweet at some point now with like a portal on it?
With a picture, with a very blurry picture.
Like, very blurry picture, yeah.
In not what is that? Not this Tuesday, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday we're gonna see an announcement with a blurry picture that says benches are technically 2-player mounts. That's fucking dumb.
Do you think we're getting a fractal first? Though? I think we're getting a fractal first.
I think they're gonna do a triple release again.
You think they're doing a triple race?
Didn't they say that rates are gonna be more frequent?
I'm suspecting that so hard.
I would almost jump on board with that because it seems like they said that rates are gonna be more frequent, right? When was the last raid? It was in November, so it's like what, 5 to 6 months ago. Yeah. So the last time they took 9 months.
It's about time then.
Right? Yeah. So it should
it's about time.
It would be like 2/3 of the last time they said would be fast. It'll be sometime soon. And Fractal also would make a lot of sense to come out rather.
It's the best time as well. It's the best time now to release it right after the ERP tournament.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone's hyped. Everyone's really hyped about raids right now, dude. Everyone's going crazy. You know.
Legendary are right there. It's happening.
Well, I mean, think about it. Wait, they have to do something quickly, right? Because you still can't make the legendary ring, the legendary swall.
True.
Or whatever. So they have to do the next installment of that. That will probably be funneling into it, right? The next raid wing will probably have something to do with that.
Unless the swirl finishes with the next raid, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Do you think though they're gonna? Do you think this raid wing is gonna be?
Not because it just like it's dragged out. It's just like fuck me. Like it's a ring. It's a single legendary. You can't spread that out over a full year.
Yeah, it seems to be taking a little bit longer than it should. Yeah.
2 wings. Right. I can get on board with that. If it takes any longer than that, no, please don't.
Yeah. I get that. But yeah, do you think that the next raid will be easier than Wing 5? Or do you think they're going deep? Are they going deep?
I think we're just going deeper into the underworld.
Yeah. I think they have I think they've kind of stepped up the difficulty a little bit, but I think the result was very good, right? I think they got a lot of positive feedback about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think everybody loved Doom. I think everybody loved the fact that Doom actually took longer than a day to kill. And everybody loved the fact that, like, Doom CM was actually genuinely hard when it came out, right?
Doom CM!
Yeah.
It took a while to take down. Yeah, no, I agree. I hope it's hard. I hope there's 3 bosses, and I hope all of them have CMs. I'm not talking easy mode shit like Desmina CM. I'm talking hard. Doom CM. 3 Doom CMs. Just give us 3 bosses, but every boss is actually Doom CM. Okay?
No, I want 3 bosses. I don't want I don't want a lot of event bosses at least. Like small pre-events or something. Maybe no crazy events, right? I gotta say, I learned to kind of hate him again in Wing 5. Like after this Mina, I
fucking love that.
I want to just look up the LFG for a Doom instance, right?
I want more.
I dislike it.
I want more of that. I genuinely want events that take place like way off. You can't portal to each other. You need to have 3 teams split throughout your squad, and they all have to die at the same time. I want that so bad.
If you actually had
so amazing.
Like splitting was part of the boss mechanic or something. I'm not sure I would like it, to be honest. I'm not sure.
It's so core to the underworld experience to me, to split between things. And
I've never
from
played
like Guild Wars 1. No. But like back in the day, it was like you split your entire team out and you're done in no time. And I want that throwback more than anything. I want to just like split out and do all the things.
I was actually hoping to see something like that in the ARP. I was kind of hoping that people would do like a split team tactic or something for it. I was actually genuinely expecting somebody to do that, but I guess because no, it was probably just
split tactics aren't popular, and I think I just think it's such a cool niche thing. It rarely happens.
But I just don't like the event theme bosses. I want a boss that has attacks that I can see. I want a boss that has an arena.
Yeah. You're a traditional man. A simple man.
I am a very simple man. I like my bosses.
Like to smash?
Yeah.
No, I get
like
that.
A lot of short
like to smash.
I get that.
I don't know. They, especially the time-gated, drawn-out long ones, you know? Like, you can't really speed up a lot. Like Trio, it's just a huge time gate.
Yeah. You instead of looking at it like something that isn't a boss, that you can look at it that it's just an encounter. I mean, you can look at Wing 5 as being two bosses, right? And instead of looking at Trio as like an absence of a boss it could have been a boss, just think that it could never have been a boss. Would you rather have Wing 2 with just Sloth and Matthias, or would you rather have the event as well?
I'm gonna go with a no, but like the better experience would be just the two bosses, I guess. But that wholesome experience though.
What's your favorite?
Is adding the event.
I still think Wing 1 is one of the best wings because it just has 3 bosses and all of them are like
really good.
Somewhat. You know? Yeah, and like the only thing I dislike about it is the capture event on Gorzaval, which again is a time-gated event, and everything else I absolutely love about Wing 1. And I would love to see a wing like that. Just 3 bosses. And I would love to have a wing that with 3 bosses, but not 2 of them are jokes, you know? Not 4 bosses or something, but 2 of them kind of don't count, but because they took like 10 minutes to kill for the first time. I'd love to have 3 somewhat interesting bosses, you know? Maybe like 1 on the difficulty scale of Gorzaval, 1 on the difficulty scale on, I don't know, Matthias, and then 1 on like Doom or something, and then maybe add challenge modes as well. Also, do you think repeatable challenge modes could be a thing? Do you think they do that?
I do think they'll do that. I don't think they will, no, but I think they should be. Yeah, just make it so you don't get the Ascended, obviously. That would probably be a little bit overpowered. But make it so you get the Ascended materials. Just whenever you do a CM every week, you get some bonus Ascended crafting materials, maybe a bit of food. Maybe instead of 40 foods, you get 3 foods instead, you know? But just give people. I mean,
I think that'd be cool.
I don't even think it's a big problem because the kind of person who's going to do Doom CM every week is already a very wealthy player because they probably raid sell, you know. So you're not really. It's not going to really inject a lot of cash. Like, not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people.
It's only 0.1% of the community anyway that raids, and it would be even less who would do CMs weekly, right? So it's like maybe 10 people who would get the rewards. How bad can it be for the economy? Look at Reddit. There's basically no raiders out there anyway. So
for the uninitiated in the stream here and in chat, that is a meme.
Yeah,
pointing that out there.
I was trying to be sarcastic, guys. 5,000 viewers raid event just last week. Don't forget, please.
Yeah.
Congrats again on that. Clap.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Why? Thank you. But yeah, we love memes here, guys. Okay, we love memes. 1% is Roca retarded? ? Unfortunately, our disclaimer was too slow. Feels bad, man.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, I am now. I'm sorry.
No, I think CMs would be fine if they were repeatable because I think so few people would do them. I actually think that even some tryhard guilds wouldn't. I know that. Yeah. Let's think about it, right? Yeah. Not a lot of people would even do it. Like, only very few guilds would actually do it. So I don't think it would really affect it, right? Wouldn't really affect it.
Like the bigger issue would probably be that they're like afraid to put nice rewards behind it because so few people would play it. I think that would almost be the bigger issue for ArenaNet, that they don't want to put too good rewards behind it because like people would complain that so few people can access them.
Yeah, but that's such a horrible argument, though. Like both on the player base, like it's horrible for the player base to even put that forward as a valid argument because it's not valid. Rewards should be rewards because they're locked behind harder content. That's the nature of success, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just inherent, but Arena shouldn't shy away from that. Like you have to embrace that, and that's not just ArenaNet, just in general. Like a lot of games do this. Like don't shy away from gating rewards behind huge prestigious accomplishments. It's cool. It's fine. It's amazing, and the players will feel much better for it.
I think so. I agree. I just like that. That's just an argument that I've heard in the past. Like
yeah, me too.
People apparently do think that way.
It's true. I mean, interesting point from Big L here, right? Is that maybe if it was possible to repeat CMs, more people would be into the CMs, right?
Maybe, yeah.
So, because if it was more of a farm kind of thing, it might be better. I'm not sure if that's true though, because there's a lot of people who haven't done Doom CM, right? A lot of people haven't done Doom CM.
It's true.
I think it's I don't know. Doom CM isn't that hard, guys. With the strategies that are available to us now, like Doom CM isn't actually that bad anymore. At the time, it was.
Yeah, I think this scourge really takes a lot out of it. Like Ellie, it's actually somewhat hard to sometimes dodge the echo, because you actually get locked into place by animations. But on Scourge, you just don't even notice. You just walk to the side and keep auto checking. And
whereas Scourge is very cheesy. It's very, very, very cheesy, But you know what I saw actually. I think we don't have much to talk about anymore. I think we're kind of. You know what I saw on the forums, guys? You know what I saw? I saw a guy complaining in raids. This is why we'll never get all those CMs done, guys. Okay. I saw a guy complaining about raids, saying that raids should be completely overhauled and restructured because he doesn't want to play with other players in an MMO. He says no other MMO forces me to play with other players.
No other MMO forces you to play with other players, guys.
Ever. Yeah.
Take this as gospel. This is the truth. This is basically Jesus incarnate.
Yeah. World of Warcraft raids basically never emphasize on crew play. Pretty sure.
And that the post hurt my brain. Okay.
I've heard arguments like that a lot, right? I mean, there's a lot of players who. I mean, we've memed about it a bunch of times, right? Like about players who think that MMOs need to be focused around the single player, right? And have to be balanced with the single player. Which is kind of sad, to be honest.
It is sad. It's tragic.
It's
very sad.
It's because they're watching Wooden Potato solo all those dungeons on a low-level character.
Oh shit! I think it's a single-player game.
That's what happens.
Yeah, I know. What if they added raid leaderboards? If they added raid leaderboards, there would be some competition.
Just cut. No, never again. Let's talk about leaderboards.
Wait, why not?
It died with Fractal leaderboards. 2 years.
Wow,
2 years of.
No, mine then.
What about Guild Wars 2 Radar though? They're doing it, right? They're working on something.
Guild Wars 2 Radar has done the elitism, man. Yeah, they've actually done the elitism. They've added elitism to the game. Simple as that. That's actually happened.
They've invented it.
Yeah, you can see the top pars now for every boss on Radar.
Where can you actually? Because I uploaded a run the other day, and I was kind of hoping for a top spot, and I didn't actually. Can you walk me through the site and show me where I can find
no, I can't. I have no idea how it works. So
then.
It looks pretty though. It looks pretty and it looks kind of cool.
It does look very pretty. Yeah, it does look very. Unfortunately, I hear a lot of people don't use it. Right? I think it's like an ongoing meme that Radar is a good site, but if you actually look at global stats or something, the top percentage of Radars isn't actually represented just because the top guilds don't upload their logs there. That's what I heard.
I think some really good logs get uploaded there, but just not all of them. I think not every clear from a top guild gets posted there, right? It's not.
I need to look at that page way more, to be honest. I haven't done my homework on
Yeah.
radar.
Yes, of course. There was one other thing that happened, guys. You guys hear? They changed the gathering tools again to something
I
that
haven't
we
heard about this.
suggested
What
on
is this?
TeaTime, boys. Well, in fairness, this wasn't just us. Actually, this wasn't just us. Pretty much everyone has been suggesting this for a very, very long time. It is, of course, the fact that the skin of the gathering tool is now separable from the effect. Right. So you can have a molten gathering tool, but it works like a watchwork pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's gonna be before they add purchasable more glyph slots?
Glyph slots.
Like
so you
say
can have double upgrades. Ooh.
the next big selling point for the
expansion.
what's it called? Yeah, no, not the expansion. No, but like the Black Line gem store purchases us whatever those the gathering tools is the word I'm looking for. Is a gathering tool with two slots, two glyph slots. How long do you think that's gonna be? Because I kind of want one.
Not sure they do it at all.
Not sure if they do that. Yeah, I'm not sure if they would do that. I'm not sure about that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe they would. Maybe they would.
It could very well be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
surprised.
It's gonna be a 1,500 gem purchase of a skin that just has just a basic skin or whatever that just has two glyph slots.
Actually, reminds me of a different topic, but keep going. Like
yeah. Well, are you about the enrichments, right? The enrichments.
No.
Oh no, because imagine infused and attuned amulets, and you can stack up enrichments. But sorry, what was your topic then, Roca? What were you going to go with? Where were you going?
He's zoned out. What up?
Hi. What? I was looking at chat right now. I was like, reading through the radar chat. Wait, keep going. Honestly, the reason I'm not really taking part of this discussion so much is because like I again don't really care about the gathering thing. I never gather. I never go around farming nodes. I never do. I don't. Sorry again. You guys keep talking. I'll zone back into the conversation.
I made a single set, like all three into the fastest ones, like the fastest what's it called? Those unbound magic ones. Yeah. The looking and added the glyph of industry, and that was it. That was it for me. As long as they're fast, I don't want anything else from them, really.
Wait, really? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, glyph of industry. Everything else can go itself.
What do you think? What do you think about them being only obtainable through Blackline chests? Though, are they only obtainable? And
you can buy them from the TP.
But still,
that's what I did.
The original source of them is. They're kind of like contracts in that way, right? They're kind of.
I feel it's one of those things that I've always felt this with say the what the fuck are they called? The watchwork ones, the ones that 33% chance to give more watchwork ones. It doesn't have that big of an impact. It just floods your own bank with basically unnecessary, most of the time useless materials. So. Like I couldn't give two fucks about getting a little bit more leather or
I personally don't like
or whatever. I just want to get over with it fast. You know, like if I interact with it, if I can be done in a second, I'll be awesome.
Talking about loot boxes, they're removing the Istan, not the Istan ones. They're removing the original loot boxes, right? For the mount skins.
Yeah, they phased them out. Yeah, they phased them out because
artificial.
What do you think about that? Because I've read about this. I've talked about this in another podcast. People are apparently reacting to this in the way that like, oh, they're like trying to psychologically trick us into buying them all again, and it's another cash trap. It's another very morally wrong thing they're doing.
It's for those in chat that don't know, it's basically called artificial scarcity. It's a system in which you trick the user's mind or the buyer's mind to believe that there is fewer of a thing. And in video games where it's all digital and it's all pixels, this just seems shady as fuck every single time. But it's very common practice in most, if not all, like areas of trade in the real world, that is, as well. So am I surprised? Not really. They're going to bring it back later on. They're going to bring it back with like, oh, huge announcement. This is here for 2 more weeks. And then they're going to get another boost of people picking it up, because that's how we've been tricked to thinking that they're only there for a certain period of time. I don't know what to say.
They
really.
tricked us.
You're not offended. You're not offended by ArenaNet resorting to such.
I feel like if I wanted those skins, I would have bought them by now. And the fact that I don't have it kind of says a lot about it. And when they come back, like I bet a lot of people are thinking the same thing or the same way as I am. If I would have wanted them, I would have bought them then and there. And then when they return, a lot of those same people will think, oh, okay, well maybe I should pick them up anyways. They might not be back for X number of weeks or months or whatnot, and then they're gonna spend that extra $1, and they're basically just trying to trick the extra $1 out of you. And I don't fault them for that necessarily. I'm not offended by that. You should be more offended by your own thinking if you do buy into it and you think that it's a despicable act. But that's not really an ArenaNet. It's just I don't know. I'm not too offended by it.
So there's a good point being brought up in chat. This is something that somebody else criticized as well that I talked about. This was that apparently they were advertised as the few mount skins that you can work towards without having to actually buy gems. They were like intended to be something that you work towards through in-game gold because they're kind of cheap, that you can work towards completing. But now by removing them, they're like kind of taking away their point, you know?
I think the way ArenaNet are going about that argument is that forever and ever they will always have one type of mounts purchasable throughout the gem store. So right now they're not phasing out the Istani ones like the newer ones. They're phasing out the older ones. And so when the third set comes around, they're gonna phase out the Istani ones anyway. For a period.
They'll be back.
It'll all be back.
They'll all be back anyway. It's not like
pixels.
It's not gonna be permanently removed, right? It's still gonna be around. They're not gonna get rid of it for they're not gonna completely get rid of it, I don't think. So yeah.
So it's not like you're not able to buy more mount skins. It's just that you're not able to buy those specific mount skins, and I think that's how they're gonna go around that argument. Yeah.
Well, I think that can pretty much kind of round that off, guys. I think that pretty much rounds it up. Gem store is a meme. Yeah, I've run out of things, man. I've run out of stuff to talk about. We talked about everything. What a wide array of topics today. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The mount skins are fine. The gathering tools are fine.
Yeah,
we forgot. Yeah, the gathering tools are a nice quality of life. There you go. That's that summed up. It's kind of cool. Glyphs are kind of cool. It's easy money. Easy money for ArenaNet guys. And honestly, the fact that you can buy stuff with gems, it changes nothing because you just buy them with gems anyway. Now it's a bit of RNG, but you can just buy them for the trading post, which is kind of the same thing anyway. So it doesn't matter at all. But anyway, it's time to chill. All right, okay, I tell you what, we got shill for boots, okay? All right, guys, we're going to talk about this. I'm going to do that shit.
Still here.
I'm shilling for World of Enders. It's still there, guys. Okay? World of Enders. He does bad builds. He role plays with Wooden Potatoes, okay? Wooden Potatoes roasts him, okay? It's basically a roast channel, okay? Wooden Potatoes makes fun of him for his bad builds, okay? He loves Mad King runes, okay? He loves minions. He loves memes, okay? He loves TeaTime. Go subscribe to my boy.
Who doesn't?
Boots, okay?
Who doesn't love TeaTime?
Okay, let's see. Where we're going next. I'll tell you what. With a brand new nose. A cybernetic nose. Casting the raid tournament. In fact, both these guys cast the raid tournament. But only one of them has a robo nose. It's fucking Roca, boys. What do you do these days?
Thank you for being here. Oh, it's been a crazy time. The raid tournament brought in so many new players. So basically, I'm trying to stream as much as I can. I try to kind of siphon the new players that are like. There's a lot of players right now that are. No, I'm like that sounded selfish. I didn't mean it that way. Like I'm trying to find the players that are coming into the game that having new questions. No, I'm trying to show them different classes. So basically, I'm pretty much all I do right now on stream is letting chat decide what I play, so that new players get to see classes they're potentially interested in raids, basically. Pretty much all I do right now. And we've recently hit 2,000 followers, which is a big goal, so we're going to do a big stream next weekend. So that's like a little bit of a personal goal there. I'm very much looking forward to, so don't miss that. Yeah, I have Twitter, I have a Discord, I have a Twitch channel, obviously, so I think they've already been linked, so yeah.
All right.
We might as well move on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Be sure to follow Roca and go and Leech's giveaway. Easy wins, guys.
Yeah, you know what we're going to give away? We're going to give away a throne. We're going to give away a Doom throne. Yeah, so pretty hefty. I mean, 2K followers, 2K gold giving away.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. And
I know, right?
Here he is. Who's back? It's Deroir Gaming. Fractal NPC.
It is I.
He's left the mists to talk to us.
I left the mist to get a new enrichment on a legendary Aqua Breather for Doom CM. What?
A legendary
Doom
Aqua Breather for
underwater
Doom
repeatable
CM.
CM.
Underwater repeatable Doom CM? Oh my god. That's leaked features, guys. That's leaked features.
It's happening. It's gotta happen. Anyways, I'm Deroir. I do Twitch, I do YouTube, I do fun stuff sometimes. Yeah. All around stuff.
That seems good. That's wholesome.
Cool.
I like that. And of course, it's finally me, guys. It's finally me. If you enjoyed this, follow the stream. We had a great tea time, a great show, exciting and varied discussions, guys. Okay, we even had drama. Boots rage quit. If you guys have skipped to this, if you guys skipped here, he rage quit, guys. Seriously, we pissed him off. Okay, we triggered him. He raged. So that's why we've got drama here as well, guys. So be sure to follow the stream. If you really like it, subscribe. Okay, subscribe, hit the sub button, use Twitch Prime, guys. You can click on the button, see if you got Prime, boom. You can use it on that free sub on your favorite streamer, you know what I'm saying, boys? It could be any of us here. It could be any of us. It could be any of the delusional leaders. It could be you. Okay, thanks Ben for watching, by the way. I appreciate that. I'm glad you hanging out with us, okay? But before we host Jebro, I'm afraid we have a bit of a sad announcement, guys. And the sad announcement is that MMO Inc. has left Tea Time, my friends. Feels bad, man.
The voice of reason has abandoned.
That is what has happened here. Yeah.
Well,
so
that sucks.
That is how it is. There's no drama. We're still boys. So I still love my boy Inks. There's no flame or anything like that. I don't flame or anything.
Go follow him on Twitter.
He's just gone. So we can't spam about following on Twitter. We have to just do Teapot Sad. And how do you do Teapot Sad? You got to subscribe to the stream. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Oh look, there you go. Like Elia Judge just actually hit the sub.
Ooh,
this guy knows what's up.
Awesome.
Yeah, he wants to put that Teapot Sad.
Completely on point, okay? On point with the subs. But anyway, yeah, I'm sorry to end us on a sad note, guys. But yeah, we're going to start raiding Jebro, and yeah, well, he's doing his tournament, so go check that out. It's going to be hype, guys.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh right now, right?
Yeah, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Shit, I missed that
Yu-Go.
Oh,
whoa.
Why did I ever
what are you saying?
agree to this? I want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
Anyway,
what are we doing here right now?
Here we go. We're going off now. We're another. So yeah, go show my boy Ink some love on Twitter at MMO Inks. Follow this stream, guys. Follow my boys. Both of them. Do it. Okay, and Boots as well. He's over in this corner here. So
World
follow,
Offenders.
Subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later. Go say hi to Jebro for us and go and enjoy some PvP. Ooh. Yeah. Thanks for watching, my friends. We'll see you later.